GM. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hello. How's everyone doing? Strike nahi aati, thankfully, for music. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. 11:05. We're a little late, but someone asked for coding live stream. The problem with coding live streams now is like most products are very easy to build. So most foresight goes into thinking about what to build, maybe a little bit of architecting, and then just building it, and a lot of data aggregation. For example, if you want to build something like, let's say, Zepto today, then your bigger challenge is sourcing the inventory and putting in the data in the database than creating Zepto. Zepto is probably one shortable, maybe some parts of it, in like a few hours. So what do you want to do? Do you guys actually want to code something? We can also just talk. I'm okay, with everything. Let me write down the options we have for the day. By the way, did you guys see the Bombay Karan Aujla concert? Apparently, it was really bad. I went to the Delhi one, which was really good, quality and production wise. And Bombay wala is apparently like really bad. People here, are we good to go? Yeah, I know. I have a Claude bot thingy running that retweets everything. The name of the Claude bot thingy is myself. Mostly, I'm the one who's randomly retweeting. I've not put on a script yet because God knows what people tweet, right? Would be nice though if every time I get a tag, I immediately whatever. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? It immediately retweets, but that's not what we're able to. That's not what we're here to discuss today. What are we here to discuss? What do you guys want to do? Build something. That means code something from scratch. And I can put two options here. One A, which is going to be use AI heavily. So basically Claude Code. I just bought the $100 plan this month. So I do have a few credits in there. And the second option is no AI, no internet, no docs, the other extreme. Or we could just talk /AMA. And if the final selected option is one amongst the A and B, then we can decide what idea we want to build on. Generally, I think most things we can build in like 4 hours now, unless it's like a very complex project. So I'm open to everything. With that, I will create a poll for everyone. What do you want to do? 1A, 1B, and then 2. There are 3 options. Start the poll. What would you guys like to do today? Would you like to build something using AI, which would honestly make our lives much easier? Then we'll probably spend time speculating on product. Okay, what is the thing to build that could make a lot of money? For example, recently I saw a very nice product which grew also very quickly to some, I don't know, XYZ MRR. I can show you the product that we can probably clone that easily enough, some parts of it, using 1A, and 1B may actually just be very boring to do it, but we can still do it. Claude Code or a terminal UI might be a nice thing to build. I can also show you, reverse engineering Claude Code, which is a weird experiment I was doing recently. Claude Code, source code is written in Bun, and the final bundle that you run locally is actually a JavaScript bundle. It's heavily uglified, but it's still something you and I can't read, but any AI can probably read. It's not a lot of lines of code also. So we can actually, even though Claude Code is closed source, we can try to reverse engineer what they're doing. And, I don't know, probably not open source, but you get the idea. Understand their folder structure, the file structure, try to replicate it again locally, something like that. This was a weird experiment I was trying recently. This is where Claude Code is hosted. And surprisingly enough, what they've posted is not a binary, which is what I would expect, because binaries are hard to reverse engineer. It's basically a very big JavaScript bundle, but the bigger parts here are external dependencies. The real Claude code base is like less than 20% of what you see over here. Even though it's heavily uglified, you can basically reverse engineer their prompts and things like these. But more than that, you can actually just ask an AI to go through parts of this and reverse engineer how Claude Code actually is coded. The other good thing about their package is, they, again, I don't know if this has happened by accident or this was intentional. They've also open sourced their declaration file, which has a bunch of types. So you can actually figure out their folder structure, the types that they use throughout the Claude Code closed source project, and try to reverse engineer it. No, it is not open source. One, as I shared with this with friends, a bunch of my friends sent me this link, but this isn't the code base of Claude Code. This is just a standalone repo that does nothing. The real repo is something like this: Claude Code closed. I found the exact link also in some PR of theirs. But it is private, but we can reverse engineer it and figure out how it's done. Let's see what won amongst the three options. You guys chose the worst, and eventually, honestly, almost a tie between 1A, 1B, and 1C. I'm okay with either. I'm mostly inclined towards 1A. The question really is, what do we build? And the best thing to build would be building Claude Code using Claude Code, something like this. I already tried, experimented with this a little bit. But basically, if you do this, then we'll copy this, JavaScript bundle locally, and we'll ask AI to sort of, understand this JavaScript bundle, reverse engineer the original one TypeScript files from it, and try to, basically copy the code base of Claude Code locally. Again, this is probably not legal, and something not you should publicly distribute. It's like a fun experiment to build something like it, and not exactly, build a commercial product. Anyways, there's no point building a commercial product like this because they're heavily dependent on their own model, so you can't really compete with them by building something on the app layer. So the goal is just to understand, is that actually possible? Should they have not open sourced this JavaScript bundle, and should they have open sourced some sort of a binary so that it would have been harder to replicate things like these? So that can be one project idea: building Claude Code using Claude Code. What else can we build? And this would probably basically be a bunch of projects in the TUI category. So think open code, codex, वगैरह. Basically some sort of a coding assistant. Fairly hot market. 20-30% of revenues of bigger AI labs now are these products. Other than that, also there are a lot of non labs that are also working on this. Cursor being a good example. There are a bunch of others. I'm forgetting the names, but the one that is number one on terminal UI benchmarks is not actually Codex and Cursor. It's something else, which I'm forgetting the name now. What else? What else is a good project idea? I don't know. You guys tell me. I will look at chat, but it should be something fairly ambitious because unless either we code by hand and then it can be a simple project, but something on top of OpenClaw on one side. So like something in the OpenClaw category or realm of categories is something I'm very open to. I have gone through their code base. It's very bloated. I think it's very heavily written by AI, if not officially vibe coded. They have too many PRs coming in every day. They rarely get time to review it. Building something on top of it makes some sense. Building it from scratch makes some sense. Contributing to it makes no sense because I think the maintainers can't really keep up with the kind of PRs that are coming here. What else? So someone said Cursor. Again, it'll probably in the first category. The problem there's a lot of VS Code bloat we need to understand to be able to build it, which is a whole different learning curve of, and very less data on most probably these models are not great at VS Code specific whatever plugins that we might need, so on and so forth. Probably not super open to it. Probably by the end of today, if we do go down the Cursor route, we'll just be able to set up VS Code locally. What we can do is I'm very open to this one. So I'll break the first category into two categories: coding assistants, where one can be building Claude Code using Claude Code, which I like. Good idea. Second one would be building a web-based Cursor. So more like if you've seen GitHub code spaces, because here we'll probably not use VS Code. We don't need that big of a bloat. It'll be like a smaller, simpler, what do you call it, like the Monaco editor, web-based editors. It'll have less features compared to Cursor. It'll be hard to have an LSP in there, extensions जो भी होती हैं VS Code में, things like these. It'll just be a place where you come, you clone a repo over there, just like GitHub code spaces, and then build a few things on top. Even though GitHub code spaces actually uses VS Code ka web version under the hood, so probably not the best example. But anything in the category of this slash Devin would be the second option. So 1A, 1B, and then OpenClaw. Any other ideas? Again, this is where we have to spend the most time because unfortunately I can just spit out whatever you want from here. Holy Offer is up or should be up by tomorrow morning, I think. Tinder for devs sounds like a really bad idea. Holy Offer should be there. I just don't remember the coupon codes, but you'll probably find it tomorrow morning. Higgsfield is the thing is we could do Higgsfield. It's like it'll be very AI API or API dependent. I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind. Web-based AI video editor, something like that. Open to it. Not super excited about it. What else do we have here? Super devs contest details. I have the problem statements. I would love to share it, but I can't. It's very vibe codable though. That too. Like the only thing I'm struggling with in the super devs contest right now is making sure you guys can't use AI to do it right now. There are 4 problems, each with around 60, 70 test cases. And most of them, if you copy the problem statement, paste it in Claude, copy the solution, paste it in the platform, you'll be able to do most of them. That's what I'm trying right now. That's been a challenge. So most probably, we'll make you type things by hand or something like that. I haven't been able to RCTC solve what I originally wanted to solve, which was can we create a non-vibe codable contest? Answer I'm arriving at is no. It'll otherwise be such a big research problem statement that it doesn't make sense to create an open book contest where people are doing something so ambitious in 3 hours using AI. I'd rather do a simpler contest and somehow try to enforce AI whatever limitations. AML trading bot is not the best idea. Again, a lot of people are writing this. What we can do though, which I'm really interested in this now, not exactly AI, so maybe no AI, but Polymarket copy trading slash simple trading strategies. For example, if you look at Polymarket, they now have a 5-minute Bitcoin candle, which is this thing right here. So every 5 minutes you can predict whether or not the Bitcoin price will go up or down. So if I refresh this page again, hopefully I see the graph. I don't. Something's up with the UI, but basically this is the target. Will it be above this price or below this price in the next 2 minutes? And the source of truth for this comes from Chainlink, which is probably an oracle that aggregates this data from a lot of places. So this is the current price of BTC. 68051, and the market is on will the price be above or below this thing. So very high probability it will be below 68041, and the threshold is 60148. So ideally you'd want to bet it will be down, right? And as you can see, down is more expensive. If I put in like $10 on down, and now it's 50-50 because the price is climbing up. So again, it's very hard to tell. Now up is more expensive because as you can see, it climbed above the threshold price. So now if I buy up, very high probability that the price remains up. I have to buy it for 86 cents and the final outcome I have will be $1. So I was thinking there's probably some strategy. Okay, in the last 20 seconds, bet on the winner. So for example, right now, there's 1 minute, so a lot can change. But when the time that's left is whatever 30 seconds, and the price difference is some delta, then you can always bet, even though you'll not make much money. Like right now, you'll get $1 if you win, and you have to pay 98 cents. So that's like 2% increase. But it's also not an almost sure shot increase. It might at the last 10 seconds also flip to the other side. So the question really is this probability the right probability or not? If it is the right probability, the probability that's been put over here, most probably by a bunch of HFTs, who are trading really heavily and deciding this up and down price. If that is actually the real probability, there's no ARB over here or, no unoptimality over here. Unoptimality over here, then we might make money in the long run. But if this probability is actually correct, then we will not make money in the long run. We'll not make money, not lose money. The good thing about Polymarket is they don't charge any fees, so we can keep doing this for days and months, and we're not losing money in trading fees. What we're losing money is if the market is unoptimal, which hopefully it won't be. So that'll be the fifth one maybe. Polymarket trading strategies, probably no AI here. I think AI is really slow, and historically hasn't, at least from my perspective, hasn't been great at modeling shorter markets like these, which are like 5 minute candles. So I doubt it'll perform really well in a market like this. But that to be idea number 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would just put, I would just remove OpenClaw right now. I don't think we'll have enough time to do this in the next few hours. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 ideas that we have. If you select one, we'll figure out which of the 2 to build. I am mostly excited about this and most probably this. These 2 are great sort of things to build. We might actually make or lose some money in the 4th one as well. I just worry, I might by mistake show my Polymarket API keys and you guys will trade with my money, which is also fine by me. So what do you guys want to do? We have 4 options, A, B, C, and D. Let me quickly create the poll. Start a poll. What do you want to do? So that's option 1. That's like something in the coding assistant category. Option number 2, that's in the video AI ads category. Option number 3, that's in the I actually hate this idea because there's no way this productionizes at all ever, right? The government is not going to come to me to rebuild the IRCT website. They have probably a great consult doing it for them already. And then option number 4, something on Polymarket. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? Poll is active. Are Manu sir is here. Thank you for the money. Tuesday it is indeed. Friday came early, I must say. Tomorrow's a holiday anyways, so feels like Friday already. All right, poll is active. And we have 2 big contenders, which are closer to the ones that I wanted to build as well. Building Claude code using Claude code. That's one. We'll probably use a lot of AI to do this. It's not humanly possible to do this, at least for me, to reverse engineer bundled JavaScript and whatever. Even though I'm very excited to do this. In fact, I've done some parts of this already. Even though my final terminal UI looks really bad, but I'm actually very curious to understand all of this. What exactly are they doing, and what exactly happens in here? My guess right now is like nothing crazy. Their model is really strong, which is why the agent layer around it doesn't need to be very complicated. It's the standard techniques you would use on a Manus or in the Claude UI or in a cursor for context engineering, and that's how most of these terminal UIs work. That's one thing I'm excited about. We'll build it with AI. The 4th one, honestly, doesn't matter if you build it with or without AI, but mostly we'll build it without AI. Should be like a simple enough script. The challenge in point number 4 is being close to Chainalysis servers and these servers. As you can tell, the market, could you see it burp really bad here? Wo atak gayi hai. Why? Because probably a lot of people are placing these orders. Like 5-minute markets are very, and there's a lot of money here also. Like there's someone who's bet $15,000 on 99 or 98, right? So even these shorter 5-minute candles, people are trading very heavily. You need to get in there, which is always an infra challenge and not a coding challenge. So writing the code for this should be easy. Deploying it in the right spot, deploying probably multiple versions of this on multiple clouds in multiple regions and figuring out which is the best one is probably the harder bit over here. I don't think I can compete with HFTs when it comes to the machines that I have access to, the data centers that I have access to, so on and so forth. So very high probability I don't end up winning. But again, we're not really market making here. We don't really care when our order comes in. We'll have some weird strategy. If there's less than not 58 but less than 30 seconds remaining, and the market is clearly leaning in one direction, let's say 70% in one direction, in this case 80%, I would most probably just place an order and hope for the best, and see if it's a profitable strategy or not. Believe it or not, there are some extremely profitable wallets on Polymarket, sometimes because of insider trading, Trump wallets. If there's some news coming out, for example, recently Axiom got hacked. I don't know if you guys saw that. But whoever was what was that? Zach BHT. Yeah. So if you guys know this guy, he exposed a bunch of crypto people and he tweeted, okay, I'm going to expose a very big company. And then this Polymarket market started. And as you can tell, from the beginning, Axiom was at the top because there was someone who's heavily buying it because they knew they were going to get exposed. So the hacker who actually they exposed had this information that he's about to be exposed and ended up making money here around 400K from what I know. So if you already know, a specific wallet has some insider information, for example, government wallets or government close people wallets. If you can follow them, high probability you make some money. So that'll be like another sort of variation we can explore. All right. Who is the winner? The winner is a tie-ish between, not a tie really. We have a winner, Claude Code, by not a great margin, a little bit of a margin. There we go. The winner is Claude Code or coding assistants. Okay, let's do it. I was excited about Polymarket, but I don't mind doing this as well. Creating Claude Code using Claude Code. All right. The reason I'm not super excited about this is because what we'll be doing is heavily depending on Claude Code to help us reverse engineer Claude Code. It's an interesting experiment. It might, actually, I'm actually very curious to know how you create terminal UIs in Bun. I don't know how many of you have tried, Claude Code or Codex, but they're all clean. For example, if I show you the three popular ones, this is there's Claude, there is Codex, there is Open Code, which is the three that I've sort of dabbled with from time to time. There was never a standard to create terminal UIs. There are standards to create websites. React plus Tailwind plus Statscn, or Next.js plus Tailwind plus Statscn is the standard right now. And React Query, Redux Toolkit, things like these. That's your stack that you would use, and is a famous stack for building a scalable web app. There is no clear answer to this question right now for terminal UIs. They're also UIs, right? There's basically like a website. And what we've learned over time is, websites are easier to create if there's a framework like React, which has the reconciler renderer that makes things easier. None of that existed for these. Now there are some frameworks that do it. For example, the guys at Open Code. Open Code is open source. These guys created another project called Open TUI. This one right here, which probably is the one that they use to create Open Code. And this does have, React-like constructs for state management. But most of them, there was no real standard for creating a terminal UI in a React-like declarative way. So that's what I was just curious to understand. Has someone made that? If not, if you want to, it's very obvious these three are money makers at the moment, aggressive hiring at the moment. So if you can create a framework that helps make terminal UIs, or like a React-like framework for terminal UIs, state management for terminal UIs, UI library for terminal UIs for that matter. If you can make things like this, if you create a UI library that has all of these components, like a chat box component, a subheader component, a modal component, whatever this is, a drop-down component. That's a good project to build to, get noticed in one of these companies. So that's one direction I was thinking of taking to understand how they're built. So now that you guys have decided this is what we're going to do, that is exactly what we're going to do. What we're going to do today is creating Claude Code using Claude Code and trying to reverse engineer what they're doing. Specifically things like, the frameworks that they're using. How are they doing context engineering? Trying to reverse maybe engineer their prompts, and what else? What else is like important? They now have a bunch of tools. For example, there's something called remote control. The day this came out, I tried to see if there's some vulnerability. I spent like good 2 hours, because whenever a new company releases a new feature, is when there's some probability of some vulnerability that you can report and make some money through bug bounties. Couldn't find anything. What other are the UI for? I personally like the Claude Code UI more than others. So I'd just be curious to see, how they've built, what they've built. What else? Another interesting thing would be, like a very cool thing might be, basically remote control only. How can a website talk to your local computer? This is like, an interesting full stack challenge, or networking challenge, call it. If you've seen remote control, it's basically, I can, if I'm talking to this project, hi, I can press or send a command called remote control, which I won't. Actually, that's fine. Continue. And I'll get a UI-ish that I can open in my phone or, on the website like this. and basically talk to my Mac machine from a website. So if I'm ever going out for dinner, which has actually happened, I've talked to my machine's Claude code instance running locally on my machine from here, and whatever commands I send from here, for example, hi, are sort of relayed over here. Can you tell me what this repo is? So this will be like an interesting full stack challenge. This is not a standard server client model, right? This is client, which is one client, my browser on my phone, client on the other side, which is my Mac machine. So it's a way for me to talk to my Mac machine through the internet and direct Claude code to do a bunch of commands. Whatever I asked it over here is what it's doing over here, and whatever response comes from my Mac machine is getting spit out over here. So that's one interesting sort of challenge I would love to see. When I was trying to reverse engineer Claude code, I saw, okay, in the previous version versus the new version, there is a new folder called remote control, which probably, they have all the code for this remote control logic. But we'll get there when we get there. Let's start slow and, make our way up. Do we understand what we're doing today? Building Claude code using Claude code. The approach that we're taking is we have the Claude code bundle, which is so big that my browser just crashed. I'm going to refresh this again. Open this, and I'm given this one CLI.js. I'm going to use AI to reverse engineer what's happening here, what dependencies they're using, and then we'll try to build something similar ourselves from scratch. Are we good to go? Can we start? Any questions before we start building Claude code using Claude code? We have a clear winner after 915 votes. We're building a Claude code using AI tools, which is someone said hair routine. Well, I will tell you if I ever meet you. I do live in India. We're not being lovable today, but what we're making is, probably some level of context is something you can copy from here and put it inside lovable. What is ladle? Ladle is it's a French slang. Google it. All right, here we go. Let me quickly open item, exit this, I'll just close this. CD projects, and I'm going to create a new folder called YouTube CC. And the first thing I'm going to do is basically download this bundle here. So that'll basically be npm install at anthropic/Claude code. This should get me all the Claude code, bundle over here. And what I'm interested in is node modules and Anthropic Claude code. So let me just cp-r node modules at Anthropic Claude code here. Let me delete node modules. Let me delete package. And let me go to the Claude code folder. Let me just rename it to original Claude code. That's the original Claude code, source code. And they have a bunch of things. They have the final, CLI.js. So if I run bun CLI.js, it's basically, equivalent to starting Claude code locally. So it's known for a fact that this CLI.js is what actually runs Claude code in my machine. And it said it moved from npm to native installer. So they do now publish a binary. I'm sure at some point they're going to get rid of, this and not update code here, even though right now, I think they're updating the final production build is pushing here. When was the last update over here? If I go to releases or versions, it was 14 hours ago. Or 4 days ago. Yeah, basically sounds right. Right now, all the changes that they're making are sort of publishing. So one very cool thing we can do is we can get this source code, and just ask AI what is the diff between the two. What feature have they released from 0.62 to 0.63, or we can probably read their blog, which they've explained the same thing. But what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to, in this folder which has original Claude code, run my local Claude code and ask, hey, can you explain what exists in the original Claude code folder? And wait for it to do its thing. This is the most anxiety-inducing weird part. Where what do you do at this point? Probably vibe. Watch a Netflix series, which is why I don't love vibe coding. But what will you do? This is like slightly undoable humanly. If I open cursor and open this folder over there. So if I go to YouTube CC and open it here, it's almost close to impossible for me to understand what's happening here, even though I do feel okay, some prompts we can read. For example, let's see, examples below use this looks like a lot of context for an AI. A lot of from time to time they might be reading these examples. Hooks on or this just might be documentation, or this might be just be the system prompt actually. Let's see, let's keep going. Skillify user description block. You are capturing the session's repeatable process and usable skill. Okay, this is like the prompt for skill generation. If the user ever does something specific that Claude can learn something from and dump into a skills.md file, this is probably what does that. Number one, it tells the LLM to analyze the session before asking any questions. Analyze the session with a bunch of things. Interview the user. You will use the ask user tool, which probably prompts me something to understand what the user wants to automate. Yeah, whenever you create a skill, for example, I created like a deploy skill. Whenever you create skills like these, it asks you a few questions and eventually dumps everything in a skills.md file. So this is the prompt that lets you sort of do that. That's one thing we can understand from here. What else? This looks like another prompt. Update config skill. This is like another skill that they have for modify Claude Code's configuration by updating session.json file. If the user wants something to happen automatically in response to an event, they need to create a hook configured in settings.json. These require hook before compacting. Ask me to preserve. After writing files, run prettier, so on and so forth. I'm assuming these are examples of hooks. So on and so forth. This is another prompt that will let you create hooks in a skills.json file. Environment variables, a bunch of other context. And then what is this? I'm very curious to understand what this is. But again, as you can tell, very hard for me to reverse engineer this using my eyes, so I'm not going to. This is what Claude Code returned. It returned me, this is the production code of Claude Code, a single bundle JS that you install by running this. Now is when we need to be very meticulous with our prompt here. I want to learn how to build this, not for commercial purposes, just generally. Can you go through cli.ts or js, whatever, and whatever. Original Claude Code / SDK tools.t.ts, which is the declaration file. I had to write more actually to understand what it's doing, to understand the folder structure of Claude and help me recreate it. Now it's probably going to, I know this because I've tried this once. It'll probably say it's not allowed, and this is against the policy of Claude Code, so you have to find your way around it. Well, they're not, which is great. Hopefully that use fine. Do you guys get what we're doing? We're trying to build Claude Code using Claude Code, maybe some version of it, and I think the full code base is reverse engineerable using AI, but I could be wrong. So we'll see. Hopefully you guys can see me well. I see a bunch of warnings here, but I think they're just futile warnings. Tell me more about what's happening in your life. That's the part that I hate around vibe coding, which is like there's not much you can do when it's doing its thing, which in this case is something. Finding the shebang initial structure, first lines of code, that will probably not tell it much. but let it do its thing. Um, how to reverse engineer like you? I'm not doing much here, am I? I just have Claude Code that's doing a bunch of things for me. But I'm just sitting here and pressing enter. I'll probably try to understand what it figures out, but honestly, in this case, I'm not reverse engineering anything. It's like not none of my experiences very applicable here because I have zero experience in reverse engineering uglified JavaScript files. But you just should just have a little bit of intent, and this should be the first thought that you get if you ever see a Claude codes code base is available in an uglified JavaScript file, the full code base. So 30 benchmarks. I don't know. I took 8 interviews today. I think a few got accepted today. What was a benchmark? Honestly, I mean, the honest answer here is they have some project in there, nothing crazy, and they can explain it well. Isme hi matlab, a lot of people with a lot of intent and paying the whatever 2000 fee uske baad bhi they don't end up doing well because they can't just explain some code that they have themselves written, just one project that you can explain well. If there are no red flags in your process of explaining your own code, that's usually a good sign, because I don't know, it's just been easier for us to find some entry level offers as long as these people meet a fair minimum of bare minimum ish benchmark. So I'm just looking at are they close to that bare minimum benchmark, or can they reach that bare minimum benchmark? Because I'll tell you what a bad interview in Super 30 is. It's either you don't know anything, which is like most people don't apply for Super 30 with that kind of a background. The other one is they have decent projects, but they're very obviously vibe coded. Using the front end you can tell, or using the back end you can tell using some comments. But the clearest tell is okay, as they're trying to explain their own code, they're not able to. You have to look at the comments that the AI wrote, and you ask them some fundamental question that they should know the answer for. For example, if they created a backend, and I can clearly see they've used course over there. Just knowing what the definition of course is, why is it used, why was it introduced back in the day, and why should you add it to your project, things like these. If you can answer that, that is a good sign. What is a bad sign? Why, if you're not able to, man, there are too many enters I have to press. Okay, let me just do this. How's your day? I had an interesting day. I woke up very late, so at 2. I did not have any class. I did not have any classes today. So I went out with a friend until 5. Came back at 5:30. Had Super 30 interviews until 8. Did some twittering today, surprisingly, after a long time. Basically pressing a bunch of retweet buttons from time to time. And then I'm here. I have to record a video for the cohort after this, and then I'll call it a night. भाई आप wheel recreate क्यों करें जो crazy करो ना open claw की तरह? Isn't that recreating the wheel as well if you're building open claw? The same thing, right? Both of these are application level, application level. Even OpenClaw, I'd say, is a terminal UI, even though it does sort of connect to Telegram. I think the learnings that you have in both are going to be similar. I would think this is a more complex project to build because of the context engineering required in building something like this, and hence I'm excited about this. Servam AI, someone said, yeah, a few problems there in me trying to reverse engineer it or build it. There's nothing to reverse engineer, I guess. Data, transformer, a bunch of compute is what you need, which I don't have access to. Probably all 3 right now. So I probably would want to spend some time understanding the transformer architecture, the better transformer architecture, fine-tuning models before I even think of doing something like that. Move the camera screen to the top. Oh yeah, that makes some sense to me. There you go. What else? What will be asked in Super Dev Fellowship, and there will be a coding contest? Yes, you will get maximum 3 submissions per question. There will be 4 to 5 questions. There will be test cases and points associated to every question. The top 200 people in the leaderboard will make it in. As simple as that. What will be asked? Okay, answer that one. Staying like too long and too many tokens. Thoughts on should a senior engineer with full experience should make in projects? Thoughts on what should a senior engineer with 4 years of experience should make in projects? I don't know what that means. As in what projects you should build, anything that interests you at 4 years of experience. You probably have some interest that you can pursue now with some knowledge that you've gained over the years. So I would just build what I like. Coding wording mein paisa hai kya? I'm trying to, by the way, depends actually. I don't know, probably I would assume so. How can I scale up my projects in terms of revenue? I'm not the best person to answer that. I think you need to talk to some, BD guy. It would depend on the market, a bunch of other factors, which, not the best guy to answer. Any Web3 projects? I think the Polymarket one was pretty good, that I was just sharing before we started working on this. Your promise are still pending. Yeah, exactly what I'm supposed to build. Not promise. It's the HTTP class that I'm supposed to record today. Promise class is done. Kira, should we predict future jobs in market? How should we predict the future and job market in this AI era? You cannot. I think it's not the best idea to do predictions generally. I mean, which is like comes from a fairly elitist sort of a opinion. Okay, follow your interest, वगैरह वगैरह. But I'm sure you have your reasons to do predictions, but generally they don't land very well. If we could predict things, we just make money, trading on top of those opinions. Unfortunately, you and I are really bad at that, and hence I would just do what interests me. Exactly, Polymarket. There's a lot of Polymarkets there. We'll see. Let's first understand this. Then I'm happy to build the Polymarket. I got laid. Congrats. Oh, laid off. My bad. It's okay. It happens. And always find another job. Is being jack of all trades a good thing? Probably not in CS. Unless you want to be a one team founder, then probably yes. But mostly no. We can. Some good Web3 projects to contribute to. Third Web has a bunch of open source repos that are usually good. I would say you can probably look at that. Should I join an NIT Trichy for MCA? Maybe. Probably. I don't know. I don't know if. I don't know, but you have great skill. You sound intelligent. Oh yeah, I just sound intelligent. I'm not intelligent by nature. Use this to avoid. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Dangerously skip permissions. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Is Mac M4 good for coding in AI? M5 base? I would not think so. I think you need. I mean, probably for smaller models, yes. For OpenAI models, of course, no. I think for hobby projects, yeah, should be fine. Probably is top end. यार ये खत्म क्यों नहीं हो रहा? It's like taking too long. Hello from Tier 69 college. Hello from Tier 1 college. Haha. Is it worth going to core modules of Node? Just understanding top level syntax and build. Core modules of Node. Probably not early in your career. At some point, maybe. You want? I mean, Third Web does have some Solana repos. I'm sure. They did a big Third Web Solana GitHub. Yeah, there you go. There's a Solana SDK to begin with. Again, it's fairly inactive right now. I don't think they're super bullish on Web3 right now. A lot of these Web3 companies or founders pivoted to AI. I would assume the same happened with these guys. Blockchain transaction infrastructure. I don't know what that means. Third Web engine core. A production grade blockchain transactions engine core is a high performance, horizontally scalable. So therefore, building serious Web3 applications require reliable smart contract interactions, account abstraction support, and enterprise level transaction processing. The argument is both horizontal scaling. I get it, but what is it? Is it for transaction landing? Landing is what I could tell. Third Web messaging queue. A single worker per EOA architecture that ensures transaction consistency while maximizing throughput. Yeah, I think this is for transaction landing. It is in Rust. Might be one good one. It's also not Solana. It is Ethereum. Let me find one in Solana for you. They have a JS SDK, which probably has some Solana specific. Maybe this is Ethereum as well. Yeah, I do see something in here. Some Solana address UI block, which probably is not the best place for you to look at, but yeah, this their front end code base? Oh, maybe. What repo is that? No, it still says JS. This doesn't look like their JS SDK. This might just be their website code base. Or, oh, I guess it's a bunch of components that they export that you can put in your application. So this might be one which has some Savannah code. Anyways, coming back to the, oh, there we go. Something it did. All right. That's a lot of things. Reconstructed folder structure. It has a package.json, tsconfig.json, source/index.js, main.ts. Commander.js CLI and oh no. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Subcommands and launches the Ink app. Ink, I think, is some UI framework internals, I would assume. Ink as in red colors or green colors. CLI commands mcp.ts, auth.ts, doctor.ts. So I'm assuming these are all Claude code. If I open another terminal here, top level commands that you can run. If I run auth or /auth or Claude auth, yeah, Claude auth, whatever options, or Claude mcp, whatever options. So all of these sub commands are in this folder. The flags that you can pass, we'll have to see what this file is. I'm curious to see what it is. The UI, which looks very close to React Codebase, like a React declarative syntax, which we love. Core agent loop. This probably is all the AI bits. Wow, it has actually probably copied the uglified function names and then just put them in here, which is very interesting. I'm curious to see this file, or whatever, this file, and see what function names exist inside. Context compaction, beautiful. I'm interested to see these two files as well. The prompt that is used to compact your prompt as the context increases a lot, and the system prompt. All the tools that you have access to, which there's probably a bash tool that does most of the things. There's file read, file write, file edit, pattern matching, grep, agent tool for probably spawning sub agents, fetching from the web. I don't know what difference exists amongst these two, but so on and so forth, a lot of them. Permission.ts, dangerously start permissions, things like these. Hooks, now this is like something specific to Claude code, we'll have to understand what it is. Talking to the actual Anthropic API, this is where we can do a bunch of things. We can actually change the Anthropic calls to, but as you can tell here, it only talks to Anthropic via Bedrock or Vertex or Anthropic's official API, but we can actually replace this with OpenAI calls. So we can build Claude code at the application layer and use whatever GPT or OpenAI at the model layer. MCP code, we can just get rid of this. I've never used MCPs. I think, at least for me, have been fairly useless. State management, probably on the front end, but I could be wrong. Yeah, probably the front end. But when I say front end, I just mean the CLI. Telemetry, which is useless for me right now, and a bunch of util functions. Rip grep, which is a better version of grep that everyone uses. Tree sitter, and a bunch of other WASM files. Beautiful. Core loop, how everything fits to it. It seems like it understood most of the things. When you clear early inputs, so capture early inputs. So if I write Claude and press enter and type a bunch of things, so something like if I press enter and write a few things and raise my key, you still see them because it just captures all the old inputs. That's the first function that runs. Then you call main. Inside main, you call inc.createRoot, which probably renders the app. Where there is a text input, a message list, and an onSubmit function, which when you click on, it starts an agent loop, which does a bunch of things, sends the call to Anthropic, and it is a loop, so it'll keep running again and again, processes the response, renders the response on the UI, and a tool extractor.ts that extracts a specific tool. The tool interface, what every tool looks like, okay? Every tool has a very specific interface, looks like this. The description of the tool, the prompt that will be attached whenever, why do you need a prompt for a tool? I'll have to see detailed instructions for the LLM. Okay, how the LLM is supposed to use this tool, I guess. Input schema of that specific tool. If it is enabled, if it is read-only, is concurrency safe? Bun uses what runs on a single thread, I would assume. So I'm unsure what this means, but we'll see. Check permissions call. Render tool use message, which is a React, returns a React element. Render tool message element, beautiful. Tools are plain objects and not classes. 396 lazy modules. Everything is lazy loaded via thunks for fast startup. Concurrent tool execution. Tools that are concurrently. Oh, now I get it. When they say concurrency safe. They basically mean what tools can run parallelly and what tools can't. For example, bash and write should not run parallelly, should run sequentially, because you might be reading a file, other might be writing to a file. But things like grep can run, parallelly, because you're just searching, you're just reading, you're not writing. That makes sense. Hooks are shell commands, not JS functions. Actually, ये मुझे पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Hooks होते हैं. I know Claude Code has something called hooks, but you have to understand what it is. And permissions for a bunch of things. It's good. Beautiful. It wrote all of that. And here is what is in the original folder. It's a copy of the published npm package. This is the original distribution artifact. Oh, कुछ तो copy paste ऊपर नीचे हो गया. Anyway, this is good. We have everything we need. Did it write all of it though? So if I go back to YouTube CC and original Claude code. Oh, sorry. Oh, YouTube CC. Did it create a copy Claude code or something? It didn't. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's initialize all these files and start with a simple agent loop, simple set of tools, and a simple UI using ink. I don't think it can one-shot the whole Claude code, every feature as expected. So we'll go step by step. We'll start off with a very simple version of Claude code. I probably should tell it. Assume I will give you an Gemini API key, Open Router API key, because I already have credits in Open Router. You are supposed to talk to the model using it. Yeah, that's the only other detail I'd like to add. So we can actually test it with some good models, and not with free Gemini API keys. Do we understand what was done until this point? We tried to reverse engineer. Which open router model do you want to use by default? Yeah, I think this is fine. It'll be an environment variable. That is good. I'm a face reader, and I can tell your face and tell you've been getting a lot of sleep. Generally, I have been sleeping a lot. I do agree. And now you can read my face, but yeah, been reading and sleeping very well. Thank you. What is Super Chat? Super Chat is a feature that YouTube has. Trying my best to evade the question, not able to. Your English fluency has gone down. Yeah, a few people have told me that. I think it's because I'm interacting less with US clients. I'm living in Noida now, so I have like a lot of, the Noida accent sort of kicks in. I will try to fix it. Good feedback. I need to start. Yeah, see, there's another arm over there. I need to start, working for a US-based company, and 3 months there, and I'll be back. You're telling me to take a job? I probably should. Sir, build streaming apps like YouTube. That's like, I don't know, pretty bare minimum at this point. But when I say bare minimum, I mean something very simple / wait, Ollie's here. / something that's very easy to build. I don't know if I want to build that right now. All right, we continue. Where are you? Code. Please review Vayu, in. Would love feedback. That's a weird domain name, Vayu, in. I'm a front-end dev with experience. What is the future? So I have good news and bad news for you. Bad news is it's gotten really good at UI. Claude Code is like, it gets you 99% there, which the thing is, before a company launches, you don't really care too much about, the last set of a finesse. So it does do things really well. So does that mean you don't have a job anytime soon? I don't think that's true. But it has gotten incredibly good. Like there would be a bunch of tasks I would offload to people in the past that I wouldn't need to anymore. That probably means I don't need to hire, junior engineers anymore or whatever. That's been a common, thought for a while now. You guys should meet. This Ganda bacha. This is Ollie. He just turned 6 months old. It's time to neuter him. And I think he's ready to get neutered, aren't you? Good boy. Go code. Even he can vibe code really well. I've seen him sit on top of my keyboard. And all I can say is, he's not half bad. Why don't you build a product and make a business out of it? Thing is, I can build most products. Building a business out of it requires you to put your energy in a lot of things that I don't like putting my energy into right now. Which is why I would just focus on building the product. Could you share some good alternatives to web containers? There aren't. There's like some WebAssembly you can do. There is a bunch of open source projects that let you compile Python in the browser. But if you want to, compile React projects, that's really hard to do. Web containers are a good alternate for that, or just do everything on the back end. You don't necessarily need to do everything on the front end. You will always hit limitations. So yeah, don't neuter your cats, please. Is there a reason for it? Like everyone told us to. Like I'm open to not doing that. But everyone, and especially the doctors, say it's something you need to do. Is any person AI which you follow heavily? I mean, we all the lab founders, no technical person per se. Andre Karpathy, which everyone does, but like not as aggressively as I probably should. But mostly, I'm too old to start research right now, so I probably am not going into it. I think I've consumed my what's the right word for it? My mental capacity has gone down over the years. Usually happens as you grow old. It might be a little late. The name of the cat is Ollie. Ollie, say hi. Audio levels keep changing. Speak closer to the mic. Oh, my bad. Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully it's better. Is there good money in SaaS? I think there is, right? Depends on the SaaS. If you guys have seen Cal AI, which I'm thinking of doing a video on, they reached 50 million ARR and then eventually sold to my therapy. What is that company? Like a big health tech company. So that would have been a nice outcome for anyone. It was a very simple SaaS also, nothing too complicated. So there is definitely money. You just need to hit the right market. Oi. You just need to hit the right market. Is which is usually driven a lot by your past experiences. My fitness pal. Thank you, Rakshit. My fitness pal acquired Cal AI for, I would assume, a lot of money. So yeah, there is. Oh, Vayu. The domain name is Vayu with .in. Okay, now that you've paid me 40 rupees, it makes sense for me to try it. I hope there's nothing weird in here. Very heavily vibe coded is my first thought. Learning with contributions. A platform, okay, very hard to tell what it does, where you can contribute to your projects in a closed environment. I couldn't get what it does. Is it like linear? Is it linear? Or closer to linear? I would assume it is. Seems like a decent idea to pursue. Is all I'll say. I sorry, did not get the time to look deeply into it. Well, I was taking a lot of time to do this. So I'm very curious to see what it spits out. Hello, Bhaiya, I have an offer for 5 LPA from a subsidiary of BillDesk, 2-year bond. Should I take it? Again, very personal choice. You should decide yourself. What is that ideal plan to become crorepati while working in a company paying 8 LPA at the moment? I wish I was a finance creator. I'm not. But I would assume there's some math you can do and, beat inflation and reach that number. The thing about that number is it's a very vacuous number always. Once you reach 1 CR, you chase more. So I would not chase any numbers. I just chase better salaries. What if people use AI in the super dev contests? The thing is they can, which is why I'm trying my best to find a way around it. But unfortunately, in an online format, there's no easy way to fix that. Why is this taking so long? It's just writing the plan right now, so it'll take some more time in implementation. But we wait. Web3 career after recent AI storm. I think that it's like become nicher and nicher. Still fairly high paid, but the number of jobs will be down. The comp will probably remain the same. You'd have to wait for that uptick to come. I think we're closer to the bottom, but I've been saying that for a while. Even when Sol was at 130, I thought we're at the bottom. So we weren't though. So I would say don't take my advice on what category to focus on when it comes to a job. Even I don't know anything, and I might be able to find my way around a specific niche, but you might not. So think yourself, and obviously it makes more sense to I mean, look at Super 30 stats also. Like probably less than 20% of the people have gone into Web3 this time, and AI has been probably more than 50%. Some variation of AI, which is Gen AI company, a company that's using AI in some form or fashion. You were talking about junior engineers. I was just saying I probably wouldn't hire junior engineers. anytime soon for my UI tasks, which is something I used to do before, which is just a random thought that came. One now that Claude Code is so good at doing this, writing UI specifically. I need water. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I will start some background music indeed. Sorry, I need to drink water. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Until then, that's what Claude is doing. Ollie. Public camera बंद है बड़ा मस्त होने से
एक गल आखा वो भी डर डर के दिन कटा तेरे बाजो मर मर के सोनिए नी दिल बटे लेना तेरा दिल दस देगी के नहीं अभी कदे आखिए जे कली किते मेरे कुछ कहेगी ता नहीं अभी कदे आखिए जे कली किते मेरे कुछ कहेगी ता नहीं अंग अंग ते आ चली लाली तेरे गोरे रंग ते थोड़ी सी जवानी चली अंग अंग ते आ चली लाली तेरे गोरे रंग ते यार मेरे बनी मस्त मलंग ते यार मेरे बनी मस्त मलंग ते लाइए तेरी चुन्नी नु तारे चिल मिल होते नहीं के नहीं अभी कदे आखिए जे कली किते मेरे कुछ कहेगी ता नहीं अभी कदे आखिए जे कली किते मेरे कुछ कहेगी ता नहीं ਹੱਸਿਆ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸ਼ਕੀਨ ਚੱਕੀਏ ਹੱਸਿਆ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸ਼ਕੀਨ ਚੱਕੀਏ ਕਹੀਏ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਕਹੀਏ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਮੁਹੱਬਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਛੱਲਾ ਮੁੰਡੀ ਦੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਲੰਘਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੂੰਹੋਂ ਪੱਕਾ ਇਕਰਾਰ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਨਿੱਤ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਲੰਘਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੂੰਹੋਂ ਪੱਕਾ ਇਕਰਾਰ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਕੱਤੋਂ ਵਾਲਾ ਜੀਤ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਕੱਤੋਂ ਵਾਲਾ ਜੀਤ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਚਾਉ ਅੱਜ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਨਾ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹੇਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ
All right. So, what we're going to do now is it probably created the right things for us. There is a package.json where I can first export my open router API key, which I probably want to do off the record here. So let me quickly do that. For the people who are interested in seeing my hairline, here's your time. It's not too bad. But a trip to Rurki bola maine. Turkey is long due. API keys. Create a new API key. Call it YouTube. Delete later. Enter. Copy it. Oh, seems like I'm almost out of credits as well. How much credits do I have? Oof, I don't have enough credits. I have like $1 left, but I think it should be fine. Coming back here. Going back here. Oh, sorry. Back here. Done this. And now back here. All right. Let's do it. Cat package.json. npm run dev. All right. Looks like something. Type a message to chat, exit to quit. Hi. Doesn't look as good as Claude code. I can okay, great. It also already knows I'm in a specific folder, and it can help me with contents of the folder, things of the folder. So I'd probably go down the route of I don't know. Can you tell me what feature is missing in the current implementation of this terminal UI? By the way, do you know you are creating yourself here? The project that you are help creating is you. Isn't that great? I think you can be really bad at the application layer for this. But illegal operation read. What was it doing again? I don't know. But somehow it was able to read. Read, more read, more read. Okay, it's just trying to figure things out. We're not counting tokens right now, which is something I like to see from time to time. But it's probably just using the bash tool very heavily, trying to understand what's happening. The ls command fails from time to time. I don't know why. We need to figure out what's up here. Now, as for the current implementation, I can see there's yeah, there's definitely a very weird scrolling issue right now. Okay, but we're back. All right, what does it say? I can see that terminal is consistent, but that recreates functionality, but there are key missing features I've identified. Conversation history persistence, that might be one. File management, no file tree / directory browser, no quick file navigation shortcuts, no recently open file tracking. Okay. No syntax highlighting for code blocks, no command history. Yeah, fairly basic features. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Project context awareness, no automatic project detection. Configuration, no dot get ignored for file operations. No system help, error handling and recovery. Advanced AI features, multi-turn conversation optimization. I don't know what that means. Context window management for long conversation. This I'm very curious about. How exactly do we do context engineering? I hope the prompt for summarization. I think it was. We saw that a while back. Was already in the code base of Cloud Code. So I'm hoping we can just reuse that. Token usage tracking is something I'd like to see. No stream interruption capabilities, which is another thing we'd like to see. The recursion is indeed fascinating. You're building an AI assistant using an AI assistant. There's something that the current implementation is quite solid as a foundation with a good tool integration. Let's just try this out for a project. Not for a simple project, maybe for a better production project. But yeah, what do you guys want to do from here? We can also explore the code base, which I'm curious to see. This is the original code, Claude code. Let me just close that. And right now, this is what our folder structure looks like. There's an index.ts, which calls create CLI.parse, which comes from here, where we use commander and ink. So a combination of ink for writing the front end and commander for, creating the specific CLIs. Project name CC. Okay, I'd probably call it something else, something like whatever. Claude code, codex. I don't know. What's a good name for a terminal UI? Open code is really good. Coder. Let's call it Coder. A simplified coding assistant. Who said it's a clone? With one flag right now, we probably need to add much more. API key. If the API doesn't exist, then that's a problem. If not, it renders app, which looks very close to React. In fact, uses React. And a bunch of components from ink to render things like whatever. Colors.header of YouTube CC. Interesting. I like how they do theme management. Colors.muted, type a chat exit. Perfect. And then the REPL, which I'm assuming, has everything. The infinite REPL of messages, so on and so forth. Message list, there you go. Beautiful. What would be the next feature to add? I think the biggest thing to do right now would be to, see how well it performs at some terminal bench. And is a one-shotted version of a terminal UI clone using Claude Code as good as Claude Code? Probably isn't. But how far is it from competing with the Codex or Claude Code, so on and so forth? Even though it's probably not the fairest comparison, considering we've just reverse engineered the code base of Claude Code. So even if it's as good as Claude Code, doesn't mean much. So what do you guys want to do next? We have a basic version. Let me push it in case you guys are curious to see what's up. So let me create a new repo called Coder. And push this code over there. Original dash Claude dash code. Beautiful. Did you guys just see my open router key? You did. Does it matter? No, it only has $1 in it. So go crazy. All right. If you guys are curious, the code exists over here. Let me paste it in chat. You can see what's happening inside. Cool. That's version 1. Any specific feature you want to build next, or then I can just, keep doing what I'm doing and continue down the same route. Manu Paji said we need songs. So songs are what we're going to get. Let me see what I can play. What is that song? I'm very, what was it? It's in my head. Oh yeah. Have you guys heard? I don't know. Old Amrinder Gill songs. Amrinder Gill songs. So oh, this sounds really good. One of my recent favorites, but I don't know. You guys probably won't like it. All right. Anything specific that you guys want me to build. Okay, you guys are Karan Aujla. Karan Aujla it is. Karan Aujla. There's a playlist. We just let it play in the background. Any specific feature you guys want next? Or should I just do my thing? What are bare minimum skills and knowledge anyone should have to get entry level jobs? Depends. Stack specific hai. Matlab, most of our referrals have been Mon stack, interviews, probably 80%, if not more. So if you're good at TypeScript, you're usually, able to make your way in. When I say TypeScript, I also mean, Node.js, Bun, React, Next.js, differences, interview questions, things like these. That usually is enough. This post has been colonized. What's that about? What's what about? I don't know what that means. Do the Polymarket project now. We can do that. I don't mind. We have created one version of this. We can do the Polymarket project next. What do you guys want to do next? What to do next? Build the Polymarket project or continue on the coding CLI? Don't come to analytics school unless you've been invited. The guy won't let you in. But if you have been invited at 25th, I don't know if I'll be there. Actually, it's like really far along. Monkey type project again, like very simple. Make a simple backend project in Rust live again, very simple. Like nothing that can be wipe coded like this. I don't know if there'll be more Super 30s. Probably there'll be one more. There'll probably be 3 and 4. Like Super 33, Super 34. That'll probably be the last one. What's the winner? Polymarket project is the winner. So here is a random thought for everyone. The winner is the build the Polymarket project. But again, there's nothing I did in the last 30 minutes that's not doable by anyone else, or like a monkey if they know what they're supposed to do, what prompts they're supposed to write. And usually jumping from one fancy project to another is not the best thing. The thing that we've built is not close to how you would want a coding CLI to be. Ideally, you should just build on top of this, make it better, and make it feature compatible with Claude Code. How beautiful would that be if you can take Claude Code's bundle, reverse engineer it, and build something similar that no one can tell the difference. So as I'm trying to reverse engineer this, if I just open one randomly, like open mine or versus theirs, and I can immediately cannot tell the difference, that's when you've built a good product. There are a lot of better challenges to tackle now compared to just moving to the next fancy project, which is the Polymarket project. I can do it. We'll probably do it because that's what the poll says. But general good advice is not switching from one project to another. With that, we move on to the second part of today. Before I do that, let me quickly get rid of my open router key. So that you guys can't or won't hopefully run me out of credits here. API keys, YouTube delete later, delete. Okay. So to give a quick update on what we're doing, what we've done until now is this coding CLI. What we're doing next is Polymarket trading app, basically something like this. An app where I can come or not come. An app that is deployed on the internet that is constantly betting on this very small 5-minute market. When I say small, I mean small by time. And selecting the majority in the last, let's say 1 minute. So in the last 1 minute, we can tell, okay, this is the favorable outcome, which is it'll most probably stay down. That's what I just bought for 78 cents. But now I'm slowly going towards 1. So I'll just make whatever 13% every 5 minutes. 13% every 5 minutes is one of the best return strategies. But of course, it might blow up in my face, and that's what we'll sort of understand through the project. Okay, are these probabilities optimal or not? Because, for example, as you can now clearly see, I'm starting to lose money because it might just go up that threshold that we're hoping for it to not go, and it just did. So, is this good or not? We'll only know if we keep doing this with, $5, $10 for 3 days. And then after 3 days, we'll probably realize, if it's good or not. Probably should only do this at the last 10 seconds or something like that, and not wait for 30 seconds. or 1 minute, which is what I did. So very curious to see what this. I also think this is like heavily manipulated. I could be wrong, but I've seen it take a swift turn towards the end. Seems like it did not, or it did. See, I did lose $10 immediately because at the very end it took like a wrong turn. So most probably this is like not the best strategy. I could totally be wrong. So we'll figure it out by running it for a day with like $5 every 5 minutes, and then at the end of the day we'll see how well it performs. I'll create a graph out of it, and we can follow that graph to see if we're eventually up or we're eventually down, something like that. Yeah. If you have better strategies, let me know. We can code anything, but we need to have some sort of a strategy at the back of our head. This is what we're going to do. Only if the probability has reached 95% should we actually buy it, something like that. Cool. I'm going to take a small break, and then we begin with the second project for the day, which is going to be. Let me play a better song. I don't love any of these songs. This one's good. I will be back in 5 minutes, and then we will start the second project. This is what we've done. This is what we're going to do next. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
ਚੁੰਨੀ ਸਿਰ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਲੱਥਣ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਵੇ ਡਰਦੀ ਬੇਬੇ ਲੱਭਦੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜਮਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਚੁੰਨੀ ਸਿਰ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਲੱਥਣ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਵੇ ਡਰਦੀ ਬੇਬੇ ਲੱਭਦੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜਮਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੰਗ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਗਈ ਏ ਪਸੰਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲਾਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਚੁੱਲ੍ਹੇ ਚੌਕੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਬੇਬੇ ਬਾਪੂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਚੁੱਲ੍ਹੇ ਚੌਕੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਹੋ ਬੇਬੇ ਬਾਪੂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਜੀ ਕਰੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਖਾਓ ਜੱਟ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਗੋਰੇ ਗੋਰੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਪਕਾਉਗੀ ਤੋੜ ਤੋੜ ਫੁਰਕੀਆਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਗੀ ਉਹ ਗੋਰੇ ਗੋਰੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਪਕਾਉਗੀ ਤੋੜ ਤੋੜ ਫੁਰਕੀਆਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਗੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ ਸੀਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿੱਲੋ ਚੱਕੀ ਜਾਗਵਾਲ ਦੁੱਖ ਸੋਨੇ ਦੀ ਡੱਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਾ
All right, we're back. Ollie, say hi. Say hi.
ਮਰ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਵੇ ਟੁੱਟ ਪੈਣਿਆ
All right,
ਵੇ ਟੁੱਟ
we're back. I've never made a Polymarket app before. Do you guys know this guy's coming to a holy party tomorrow? You might find me there if you want to do a mini meetup. Okay, next up, super chat missed. All right, let's see. Right, we're back. Sixth semester, tier 2 college, bits DSA. Kya karu DSA or dev? Your call. I mean, no opinions on it. Both are very important, and you know, various types of companies. Is that the only question? You can make it to GSOC. We contribute now. All right, we begin. The second project is going to be a Polymarket clone. I've never done Polymarket anything. I'm actually very curious to try it. APIs. All right, programmatic access to the world's largest prediction market. Beautiful. That's exactly what we need. Calm API. Markets, event logs. So I would want to read the stream of messages, not from these guys, but from here, from Chainlink. Basically, let's see. We're going to receive the data stream from Chainlink, and based on that, make the final decision on up or down. But we do want to read the price of that specific market, right? So the threshold price, the price to beat, this thing right here, the target. So we need to read from here as well. That's Polymarket. We need to read from here as well because this is the final source of truth. Irrespective of what the current price says here, which could be laggy, the price here is what would matter at that specific timestamp. What was the time over here is what decides what the market resolves to. And hence, we probably need to connect to both of them. So let's start off by exploring Chainlink. Chainlink has a TypeScript SDK. High frequency update, let participants act on real-time markets. That's exactly what we need. And there we go. Sounds simple enough. Let me create a new project called, let's call it Polymarket bot. Let's do a one init, a blank project. Let's open it in Cursor because we did decide we're not going to wipe code this one. We'll code this one from scratch. And do it slowly, but do it right. Let me copy this thing right here, copy, paste it right here. Create client comes from what is the dependency? At chainlink slash data stream SDK, exactly what we need. From here, and we see a very big type error. I don't know why. Oh, .config, which is something we probably need. Oh boy, so we need an API key for Chainlink as well, which I hope is not paid because I don't have a credit card right now. API key and user secret is two things that we need. Which isn't enough for some reason, but okay, we'll see what's up there. Let's call it Chainlink API key and Chainlink user secret, and let's try to see where we can get these from. Is there no easy way to get Chainlink API keys? How do I log in? Chainlink API keys. Man, Chainlink API keys. How to get? I hope it's not a gated service. Actual data provider whose data you want on your smart contract to access. What you'll need, it's an account here. I hope this is not paid by default and doesn't require a business email. I don't see India here. A B C D E F G H I. That's that. Accept. Continue. Right. Time to see the code. And let's create an API key for ourselves. All right. Getting started. Data streams is probably what we need. This is what we need, but how do I create an API key for it? That is not great. Let's see if we can just reverse engineer things from here. Might be the last option. Again, you probably want this, in a paid fashion from Chainlink, because this really decides if your order is good or not. But since we can't do that just yet, we'll try to reverse engineer where are they sending me the data from. Am I tripping, or I don't see a WebSocket stream here? Live stream reports. Oh, query time scale. It's sending requests one second after the other. Not really. It seems to be updating very quickly. I don't see any new requests, so I'm probably missing something obvious here. They most probably are pushing data through WebSockets. I'm just not able to find how. That looks like the wrong one. Front end, front end. Might just be front end as well. Query time scale. So it's like the graph data. So like this thing over here. Where is it getting this real time current bid and ask price, or the current price from, or the mid price? All icons. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. It has to be here, right? Am I tripping? How do they get the current price feed? This returns you the bids and the asks and the price of a specific time, but not in real time. It's like 1 minute charts. Level 46, level 47, level 48, level 49. What we really need is the current time, which I'm sure someone in chat has figured out by now. Some web extension Rust, someone said oxychrome, which I'll get to. But anyone knows what I'm missing here? What might be the place where this stream is coming from? Maybe service is running in the background. You should still see everything coming in the network. Nothing good here. Okay, there's another page. The one that we just saw, this one right here, where we see something similar. Let's see. Is it like the GraphQL, what do you call it, subscription thing? It probably is. I think there is a way to do that here. New GraphQL. Enter the URL. It's probably this, and enter the query. Okay, let's query this. Mm, this is returns the current data, I would assume. BTC, market cap. Oh, it also does, oh, sorry, my bad. It returns you the metadata, which is useless for us. I do feel like it returns me, it uses GraphQL streams or subscriptions, whatever they're called, to subscribe the data from the backend. I could, of course, be wrong. Stored stream data. I'm out of options here. Do you guys think, has anyone else figured this out? How would they be returning? Sorry. The stream. Where does the data stream come from? What are we missing? What do you guys think? Anyone have any ideas, or should I just go deeper? I'm going to spend another 5 minutes on this. And if not, we just go to Polymarket and get the data from there. What could it be? Okay, what is this? This is like a component. Not this. ETH BTC. Should we just get a sex price? We couldn't, for BTC is like very volatile. So we probably can't get a centralized exchange stream. We probably need these guys only. Their mid price is what decides the Polymarket price. So we do need to subscribe from them. It just seems like there's no easy way to do it. Chainlink subscribe to BTC feed WebSockets. Actually, there is a ws.dataengine.chain.link. Data engine, nothing at all. Nope, not what I was looking for. So what we need, but I'm pretty sure you need a API key over here. To be able to do this. Yeah, API key and API secret, and we haven't yet been able to figure out where do you get them from, other than this request data button, which is unfortunately not useful at all today. What could it be? Okay, I'm going to start from the top one more time and try to see what's up. HTML. This isn't. Oh, not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. None of these icons. Bunch of others. JSON. None of these. We've hit a wall, it seems. Nah. Okay, this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to see how far their price is from backpack price, because I know it's easy to reverse engineer backpack, prices. Exchange or Binance. I would assume Binance is the best one. Yeah, let's just do that. Binance, BTC, USD. I would assume they're the most liquid, and they dictate most of the price. So let's see what the price is here. How different is it from the price here? Yeah, it's pretty far, isn't it? 41.05, 41.599. Boy, Um, yeah, there's like a very big delta in the price here and here. This is the price that Polymarket uses, so we can't really depend on these guys. We have to depend on these guys. The reason there's a big price delta is because these guys depend on all exchanges, and not just one. So they're aggregating data across, and the delta is like of 100. Does this mean this will catch up to that, or this will catch up to this, or the ARP will just remain? Okay, so the other thing we're going to do is now going to coin market cap and see the BTC prices here on various markets. 502, it's not real time, which is a problem. Okay, exchange 634, 789, very big delta. Is this a perp? BTC USDT? No, this isn't. And what about here? 784, it is, and very liquid. And 743 here. Oh, sorry, 643 here. Yeah, that's not good. We can't use the prices of exchanges because they're far off from the chain link price, at least for BTC. I'm sure that's not the case for others. It is catching up though, but still pretty far. In 5 minutes, we'll get screwed really bad if we use these prices over these prices. Yeah, there's a very big delta. I'm just curious to see if the same is true for a slightly, tighter market like Seoul. I would assume the answer is no. 85.3, 85.4, or 4, 4. Yeah, that's not 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 1. I would still say this is really far. Unfortunately, this is the source of truth. So we do need to, I mean, this just seems like a way for Polymarket to sell Chainlink API keys, because irrespective of what the prices are here, this is considered to be the source of truth. Now there's like a very big delta. All right, so we still have to continue doing what we were doing. Anyone have any ideas on, how can we, without talking to Chainlink and getting the data stream from them, how can we get it for free? They don't make it easy, do they? Data.chainlink.com, data streams, exactly what we need, but not easy to reverse engineer, not easy to get. Okay, here's what I'm going to try. Network tab, the smaller. Next. They get a bunch of these stream.json files. Okay. With a bunch of configs. Just configs, public RPC URL. Nothing that's any useful, I would think. I'll look at chat in a bit. Is this like old data that they show over here? Being pulled via HTTP and slowly being, shown on the UI? That's my next guess. That might just be true. After this timestamp, this should be the price. After this timestamp, this should be the price. I could be wrong, but as you can tell, after every few seconds, they send an HTTP request, and then based on that, that's why it might be lagging so much from Binance, because it's just replaying a bunch of these prices, and it's actually not the real price. I don't know. I could be wrong. Keep these open. Yeah, there you go. That's very weird if that is the case. 100.2. Is there something here at 100? Feed ID, but I don't see anything else. 100, 100. Nothing is at 100. Okay, there's data.chain.link slash API slash live data engine stream slash data feed ID is equal to something, bunch of other things, which returns you. Okay, 82 at some timestamp, 82.8, 82.15. Yeah, I think they're just getting historical data. You don't get the real time data for free from here. You have to talk to the Chainlink folks to get their API keys, pay them certain amount. Only then will your prediction be right. What I'd like to do next is see how far this BTC final price is from the price on Binance. So let's open Binance BTC USD on one side. Let's open Polymarket on the other. And this is like a fairly lagging metric. I wouldn't consider this to be the right metric. Where is the live market here? Go to live market. All right, this market will be alive for another 3 minutes. As soon as this ends, I would like to see the price over here and see how far it is from the price over here. And if they're close enough, that means it's a good sign. If they're not close enough, that means it's a bad sign. Actually, we might just, yeah, this looks much closer to Binance. 54 here soon enough, 67, there we go. 37 here, 45 here, beautiful. All right, I get it now. What we can do now is we can subscribe to this price, probably not from Chainlink, but directly from these guys. Like at this point, it's very obvious this market will resolve to a no, which is why it's at 84 cents right now. Now it's at 709, 720. Yes, sounds good enough. I just want to see when it ends, what is the final price over here? And was it close to the price over here? I think that would be the case. But their public facing page is really bad. It is not the current price. The Chainlink public facing BTC USD page is not something you should trust, this page right here, because this is like a very lagging. It's at 531. What was this at 607? So I'm pretty sure this is like a lagging metric and not the right price or the current price. So this does look like closer to the current price. This hopefully is the source of truth. And I think subscribing, and right now it just seems stuck. So I would assume the current price is 616, and these odds are defined based on that. But we'll wait for, how long was it? It's about to end, right? Oh, the market already ended. Sheesh. Okay, this is the live market. Let's see where it lands at the 0th second. And is it close to the price here on Binance? Then we can just subscribe to the Binance stream or directly to Polymarket and we'll be fine. Seems like Polymarket is a way for you to proxy Chainlink data if it is available over here. I'm pretty sure it is. I think here we'll finally find a WebSocket stream, which is not as fast as Chainlink, but somewhere there. Yeah, these look very close now. 56, 57. Exactly what we need. Right. About to end in a minute. 49, 68, 52, 68. These look fine to me. I think when things are very volatile, it might be a little crazy. I'm actually very curious to see, are people actually trading this market or manipulating market at the last second just to make some money here? Might be the case. I don't know. Like at the end, if someone comes and places a huge order here just to manipulate the price and make a lot of money here but lose some money here. Oh boy, it's going up. 81, 76, 74, 76. Yeah, that's pretty good. We can just subscribe to Binance. I think we'll be fine. 56, 62. 62, 54. 54 should be around 54. Let's go to the live market. 654, 668. Yeah, sounds simple enough. All right. Well, it's time to code this now. We're going to let's see if we can depend on Polymarket for the stream. And if not, then we will probably depend on someone else. Hold on. Oh, you guys can't see me at all. Hello, hello. Hopefully that is. Oh, one second. Oh, there we go. That is. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. What I was saying was, we can depend on Polymarket. So what we can do is probably represent the APIs here. API dot or zip socket or stream. Come on, I cannot. Are they also polling? Orders. Oh, there you go. wslive.data.polymarket.com. Messages. And it is returning me asset, this thing, collection ID something, event slug BTC, this thing, icons. इतना डेटा क्यों दे रहे हैं ये लोग? Proxy wallet is probably my wallet. Public key, hopefully. Oh, that just looks like a bunch of orders. How do I get the price? इतने ही order है इसमें, खत्म हो गई. ws-live. Okay, there's another one here where I'm probably receiving the data from. Full accuracy value. This one might be the current price of BTC USD. At this timestamp, the value was this. Beautiful. So we can subscribe to just this specific feed. If I go back here, oh, yeah, Polymarket, that's one. Copy as curl. There we go. Postman. Import, paste, and enter. And if I try to connect to it, it wouldn't let me because it is not a. This is going to be really tough, isn't it? Yeah, this thing with a bunch of connect. So it'll probably not connect. Oh, it is connected. Okay, I probably need to send it a message first, asking it for subscription to the BTC market, something like this. Subscriptions, topic, activity, order match. I don't need any of that. Comments, I don't need any of that. Crypto price, chain link, filters, BTC. Beautiful. That's the only topic I am worried about. So delete that. Send, and hopefully I start to receive all the data for the current price of BTC. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, as you can see over time, I'm receiving that the current price of BTC is, whatever, 68, whatever is the value over here. Hard to read. Yellow G. So I am getting every few seconds the current price that exists on Polymarket by subscribing to this live stream. It's an open endpoint. Anyone can hit it. The life becomes pretty simple from here. We have this, and what we need next is the specific market, and then if we like the market, place an order on either side. So let me keep this handy. Now let me look at Polymarket APIs. We couldn't care less about anything else. We are already receiving the current price of BTC proxied via Chainlink to us, which is beautiful. We were able to use Chainlink without paying Chainlink, which is like cool. What we want to do now is use the Gamma API, data API. We're already using the data API, the Claude API, probably the Claude API. Discovering markets. We don't need that. We just need this. Trading endpoints will require authentication, which is fine. So this is the end. Let me just fire something up here. Don't need any of that. This is one. The second one is this one right here, along with a subscribe message that looks something like this. Beautiful. Ole. Bye. Good boy. Authentication. All right. For Claude endpoints, how do I do authentication? Wallet private key to sign this thing is used for creating API credentials. This thing, these are used solely for taking requests from Claude API. Requests are signed to this thing. Beautiful. But allowances, cancel or get users open orders, post user sign order. Beautiful, exactly what we need. New club client, Polygon mainnet, wallet private key. Credentials await, create or derive API key, and then credentials. The thing is, this is a little scary now. I don't want to paste my private key. It has like some $2,300 in it. While I recommend using a provided clients to handle sign authentication, the following is for developers who choose to not use Python or TypeScript. Okay, that's fine. Either way, the problem remains. I don't want to do this. Is there no API key restricted way to do what I want to do? Poly address, poly signature. No, I don't need a polygon signature, so you do need this. Yeah, that's not great. All right, I guess we will roll. The thing is, there's no easy way for me to even disable the private key if you guys see it. Like if galti say you guys see the private key, there's nothing I can do. That money is, as good as gone. And there's like some money in there, but it's okay. We'll reach that point. When we reach that point, I can probably at the end add. I'll just create a new Polymarket account, and just put like $30 in it. That's probably an easy solution. And one add ethers. All right, assume the private key exists. And for those of you who might already not know, Polymarket was actually built on top of Polygon, so it actually uses a bunch of Polygon constructs. I still see a bunch of funder explained below. Ole, oi. क्या कर रहा है? ये ले. Good boy. I'm sure there's a non-private key way to do this. Let's go to Polymarket. Let's go to my wallet. That's my public key. And I don't want to show you guys the private key. So what I can do is I can go to Brave. Exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to log into Polymarket here and put like $30 in here. That way, even if my private key gets leaked, $30 is all I lose. Sign up, continue with Google is fine. There should be a way to figure this out. Oh, there we go, finally. Beautiful. Oh, Kirat. Yeah, create one started building on Polymarket. Okay, I don't know how much of this I should show on screen. Probably not a lot. So let me do this. Oh, let me move myself off screen. Create a new API key. Okay, I have an API key. I have a secret. I have a passphrase. Never sure if it leaks. Polymarket may disable it. Okay, I've created a weird builder profile. I'm very anxious but I think this should be easier to disable it, right? Can I disable it? Oh, I don't see any button here that lets me disable these keys that I'm creating. And then there's the private key that I'm definitely not exporting on screen. Active. How do I make a key inactive? It gives me no way to do it. Yeah, I am out of luck here. Let me close this. Let me re-explain what we were doing. All right. Here's a quick recap of what happened. We have figured out a way to get the current BTC price by subscribing to, this specific WebSocket market. It gets you data directly from Chainlink proxied via Polymarket. So you can get the current, price of BTC, which, right now is what? Whatever this, like 68,618, 68,634, 43, 85, so on and so forth. By reading through this stream, that's the easy part. The problem here is, again, you're going through two steps. You've not paid Chainlink, so you don't get the most accurate price, but that's fine for us because we have like a 1 minute window to predict at the end. Do you want to place a trade or not? The other thing we want to do is actually place an order. Now, looking at their docs over here, all these CLOB APIs, central level limit order book APIs, which means an API that lets me touch this order book, talk to this order book and eat orders from here, or place orders over here, requires me to put my Polymarket private key, which I know for a fact if I do put it in the code base right now, this thing right here, at some point I'm going to show it. And then there's no easy way for me to change it. I'll just have to pull the money out of Polymarket, which you guys can beat me to. So I'll take a pause here. Do you guys understand? Let me just write the code though. This is like not very difficult. Actually, this is like a one-time thing. I think I might be wrong, but I think you only needed one dev or one index.ts. Well, private key, which should be very easy for us to replace, even though I'm not going to replace one. Actually, let me just create a random ETH private key. Why Ethereum, you might ask? The answer is that Ethereum Polymarket is built on top of Polygon, which was EVM based. Wallet client is missing account address. Ethereum address, private key hex. I would assume it needs the private key in hex only. I could be wrong. Missing account address. Does it expect it in a different format? Key, string, or signing key. If it is a string and doesn't start with OX, it already adds OX to the beginning of it. यहाँ पे जाके कहीं पे error आ रहा है. It's not even able to initialize it. That means the base wallet constructor somewhere. The control is reaching beyond this. I think ये function में error आ रहा है. Console.log. Hi, run it again. Do I see a hi? I don't see a hi. Okay. Let's try this constructor, console.log, hello. Oh, never mind. It seems like the error is much before any of this. Wallet, const wallet equal new wallet. And now, actually this much is good enough. Oh, I guess end में जाके issue आ रहा है. That might make some sense. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is what creates an issue. Create or derive API key. Wallet client is missing account address. I don't know if this is fixable by putting my real private key here. Probably is. I'm not going to though. But I don't think it's talking to the internet. जितनी जल्दी ये fail हो रहा है. Polymarket club sign.js. If wallet client dot request access is equal to function, then something get address is function. Okay. Basically, इसका कोई पुराना version use करना पड़ेगा from what I can tell. In fact, it is telling you what version it is. So let me just go to package.json, ethers, and replace this version with this version. Yeah, most probably Polymarket API is not compatible with that specific version of ethers, but is with a different .ts. Seems to work. This is a random private key, so it doesn't matter. I can just log the credentials over here. There you go. Now it says कि यार इस पे तो कोई वो है ही नहीं. There is, oh no, never mind. Still, it gave me an API key, secret, and passphrase. Okay, that's step one. What is the step that comes after that? I will look at these three things. What comes next? Put these as environment variables. What comes next? Tiers. I don't care about that. How do I place an order? Given I have these three things, so let me just open.env polymarket underscore key equal to something, and then polymarket secret equal to some secret, and then polymarket underscore passphrase equal to some passphrase. Given we have these three eventually here somewhere, how do you place an order? So I need the Claude API, new Claude client, wallet, credentials, signature type, funder. What are these things though? Bid, ask, create order. Everything looks fine to me. The only question is, what are these three arguments? Client dot create order token ID. What would the token ID be? Whatever the BTC market token ID is, I would assume. Side would be, again, buy or sell based on, which side do you want to buy. The price, which, in our case can be a market order, so it wouldn't matter. But let's say we decide a price to be 0.88. And then the size, which, let's keep it small to $10 or under in every order. I don't know if this is enough. It might just be enough if I put my wallet private key here. I think this is enough to create, whatever, an order. So let's just replace token ID with the BTC token ID, which is the current live market. I would assume it is this. I could be wrong. Token ID, side, price, size. Let me now move off screen. I again don't want to copy a private key, but let me try copying my private key, pasting it over here. Probably don't need this. And then let me just try to run this code. This code should ideally place an order for me in the BTC up down 5-minute market, which is this one right here. The only worry I have is galti say if I show my whatever private key, I am doomed. This thing right here. Let me just not do that. Let me assume this works. And assuming this works, basically what is happening is function. This is fine. What is going to happen now is I want to subscribe to the current price of BTC here. So I will do a const ws equal to new WebSocket. What is my WebSocket URL? It is this one right here, or create a config variable at the top. Const polymarket underscore data underscore stream equal URL equal to this thing. Am I sharing my screen? I think I am right here. That is fine. And then this is what I'll subscribe to. And then ws.on open equal to, there we go. I want to do a ws.send. Basically this thing for the current market, which in our case, we are interested in the BTC market. So let me just replace this with a variable called market, which I'm going to define here. BTC USD. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. And ws.on message equal to console.log data, whatever that data might be. So let's just start here. Let's see if we're able to receive the data or not. Oh yeah, of course this will not work. So let me put this inside a function. Function create order for market ID, side, price, and then size. I guess it's fine. Oh, stop. And then all right. Now that that is done, it's inside a function. Somewhere here we need to call create order whenever we think the price is fine, the time is fine. Now let me do a bunindex.ts and hopefully I start to receive data now. I am not. Why would that be? Console.log connected. I am connected. I do send this, but it seems like this is the wrong input. So let me do a console.log of this as well. All right, I send this. I don't see anything wrong here. Is there something wrong here? I don't know. Let me copy this. Let me just paste this here for now. Oh, I think I might know what's up. ये slashes हटाओ भाई. I think that should do it. Connected, send the thing, never received a message. Not good. Disconnect, connect, send the message, and immediately start to receive messages. What is happening? Okay, now I'm just going to copy the message and paste it here inside double quotes. Something like, भाई ये जरूरी है क्या slashes फिर? Filters, double quote, open. Okay. I get it. समझ गया मैं भाई. दिमाग भगवान ने थोड़ा बहुत तो दिया है. Okay, there we go. समझ तो मैं क्या हूँ थोड़ा. गलत ही समझा हूँ ऐसे में. I think okay, that should have done it, right? That should have done it. Console.log. अरे इसके स्लैशेस कहाँ गए भाई? स्लैशेस तो होने चाहिए यहाँ पे. एक्स्ट्रा डबल स्लैश चलेगा यहाँ पे. ये होना चाहिए स्लैश यहाँ. स्लैश एंड स्लैश. अब देखना ये चलेगा एकदम बढ़िया. ये मैंने लॉग में डाल दिया, सही जगह तो डाला ही नहीं. So I'm going to copy the log and then paste it here. And now, there we go. We're receiving the data. पहले कुछ अजीब सा आता है. But then if we do a JSON dot message event dot data, so dot data dot if not this thing return, if there is something const JSON equal to JSON dot parse data dot data. अब इसमें ढूंढो प्राइस क्या है पीटीसी का. सो दैट विल बी डेटा डॉट डेटा डॉट पेलोड. अरे बाप रे. डॉट पेलोड डॉट वैल्यू. सो const value equal to JSON dot payload dot value and then console dot log value. Now if I run it, undefined, okie dokie, and then the right prices, right? So we're receiving the right prices of BTC. What we need is कि अब इस मार्केट में कितना टाइम बचा है. How much price time is left in this market? So let me just create a const polymarket current market ID equal to जो भी URL में होता है, which is this thing right here. I need to check कि जो करंट मार्केट है उसमें कितना टाइम बचा है. How do we do this? What is the right way to do it? I don't know what's the right way to do this. Basically, should we maintain a clock on our side? Should we fetch it from here once? Go to live market. जैसे 449 है यहाँ पे. ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? वी नीड द मार्केट मेटा डेटा कि इस मार्केट में कितना टाइम बचा है अभी. So something like, ugh, all right, that's a lot of data, metadata. Okay. So I'm sure that APIs provide this. ये तो सारे ऑर्डर क्रिएशन के है ना. For depositing, which one of these endpoints? Oh, there you go. I'm sure this is like a special market जिसमें timer लगा हुआ है. So I don't know if they expose this via their API. But what is this? Embed, share ना. Get markets. तो नहीं, but get market होगा पक्का पक्का. Get a market for a specific ID. Get price, get prices, get midpoint, get spreads, get price history, last traded price. None. Get the current server time. No, none of these are. Well, if you do get the current server time, we can probably predict इस market में कितना time बचा है from it, right? Yeah, probably could. क्या ये 2 मिनट पे और ये 1:27 पे 7 पे पहुंचेगा? Oh yeah, it did. So they're basically running it every 5 minutes, right? So we can basically do a bunch of things ourselves also here. Most probably my machine time will be very closer to that time. So I can assume, console.log. Time left in this market is date.now. Hi, लगेगी math अब. लगाओ मैथ. date.now के अगला 5वां मिनट वाला पैड कौन सा है? कैसे ढूंढेंगे भाई? DS से क्वेश्चन आ गया. इसमें मैं थोड़ा वीक हूँ गाइस. date.now से कितना आगे जाके 5वां मिनट कैंडल रहेगा? तो व्हाट आई कैन डू इज माइनस date.now और date.now माइनस एग्जैक्ट यूनिक्स टाइम स्टैम्प क्या होता है भाई? 1:25 का यूनिक्स टाइम स्टैम्प ऑफ 1:25 और आई गेस एनीथिंग 00:00 yeah, this new date of this thing. कैसे करते हैं? न्यू डेट ऑफ दिस थिंग तो होता है न्यू डेट ऑफ दिस थिंग. तीन और 0 अभी भी एनुअल डेट है थिंग. हाँ, there you go. 3 0 ऑर्डर लेंगे कि नहीं? March 3rd एग्जैक्टली 7 ओ March 3rd. हाँ ठीक है, सही. तो दिस ये हटा दो 3 0 और डाल दो. अब क्या रहा है भाई? डॉट गेट यूनिक्स और गेट टाइम होता है गेस. ऑलराइट, देयर वी गो. इतना और फिर इसमें से क्या करेंगे हम? मॉड्यूलो. फिर वही दिमाग लगेगा मेरा. मॉड्यूलो इतना जा चुका है तो मॉड्यूलो 300 जा चुका है. 300 माइनस दिस इज द टाइम दैट इज लेफ्ट. सो 300 माइनस दिस थिंग, राइट? दिस इज द टाइम लेफ्ट इन सेकेंड्स for this market to end. I think so. Let's see. Let's copy the current best market price, which is like the current live market ID, which is this one right here. इसको करने की जरूरत नहीं थी, but फिर भी let's remain up to date. Let's do a bar index.ts, and now, yeah, time left 52 seconds. 80 seconds, 192 seconds, 291 seconds, 110 seconds, 90 seconds, 124 seconds. I don't know if you guys see this as well as I do, but the math is not mathing, guys. Moving too quickly. Date.now minus this thing dot get time modulo 300. यार ये तो एक से ही करना चाहिए. modulo 300 को इतना बड़ा modulo 300 date.now माइनस बहुत पहले का वुड बी हाँ सही तो है, 300 के बहुत सारे वो मॉडल सही तो है, इसमें गलती क्या है? लेट्स ट्राई इट वन मोर टाइम. Let's simply log this. Let's log, yeah, let's log this thing. Modulo 300 एक बारी को नहीं करते हैं. And then let's also log date.now. Date.now धीरे धीरे अगर बढ़ रही है तो date.now माइनस कांस्टेंट भी धीरे धीरे बढ़ेगा ही ना. तो why is that not happening? One index.ts. One, okay. Oh, I know. I don't know if you guys figure it out, but yours truly did. Math.floor of ये चीज़ divided by, actually better thing might be this. 300 000 divided by 1000. ये पूरा math.floor. That's how AI also writes code for you. Very unreadable. 221 seconds, 219 seconds, 217 seconds. तो ये एक साइड पे और ये अगर एक साइड पे करें, इट इज़ राइट. हाँ इट इज़ द मैथ इज मैथिंग. तो इसको दिख रहा है कि करंट प्राइस ये है, इतना टाइम बचा है. समवेयर अराउंड द टाइम व्हेन द when it's less than 60 seconds left is when we need to create the order if we are feeling like the target price, the price to beat is far off from the current price. So that basically means we do need to get the market metadata, we do need to get the target price from here, or the price to beat. Basically ये भी हमें कोड में चाहिए, तभी तो we can do the math of if the price to beat minus the current price is above a certain threshold and the time is less than 30 seconds, is when you place a buy order for something, right? Hopefully that's clear enough. Question is, how do you get the price to beat in your terminal here? बाकी सब समझ आ रहा है? Everyone else, everything else is clear. The market's timer we're able to get here, 155 seconds here, 155 seconds here, 51 seconds here, 151 seconds here. So this time is right. The current price of BTC we have over here. The last thing we need is price to beat, which currently is 483, 438, and price is 428. So it's like very hard to tell. 50-50 market हो गया अभी, almost 60-40 market है, क्योंकि very hard to tell what happens in the next 2 minutes. But if it was an obvious market, we would want to place an order, right? So the next thing we're going to do is get this market's metadata over here. अब ये तो थोड़ा difficult होगा. For this, get market by ID. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. This seems easy enough. Gamma API dot polymarket.com/markets/ I would hope it is simply this. ID is invalid. अब इसकी ID कहाँ से निकालूँ मैं? मार्केट इक्वल BTC अप डाउन 5 मिनट, ये सही तो है, ये मार्केट आईडी ही लग रही है भाई. ID is invalid. Okay, that doesn't seem like the ID then. Creator is someone. Let me open another market. This one right here. इसकी ID क्या है भाई? Is it this? It's probably not this. Then this is probably the slug, and the ID is something else. Yeah. Okay, we need to figure out the ID given a BTC market slug. अब इसकी ID कहाँ से निकालूँ मैं? नेटवर्क टैब से ही निकालेंगे और ओ मार्केट इक्वल टू ये मिल गई भाई, मिल गई. इट्स लाइक अ इथीरियम एड्रेस. I forget this is like an on-chain program. अभी भी इनवैलिड दिखा रहा है. Ready to me. Claude.polymarket. Oh, invalid API की, that's fine. Actually ये कहीं ना कहीं हो रहा होगा ना, markets/call markets/slug markets/slug/ whatever. Let's go to the live market. Let's copy this. Let's paste this, and we get everything. Hopefully, we get price to beat here, or whatever. What is that called? Price to beat. Beat. What is the price to beat? It is this thing right here. Copy paste and 68 472. अबे प्राइस टू बीट तो है ही नहीं इसमें. Ticker, title, slug, description, start date, end date, created at, liquidity. Amongst the many things I see here, I don't see the price to beat. Or am I tripping? ID will give वैसे, but ठीक, it doesn't matter. What really matters is how do I get the price to beat here? Yes, definitely not here. Has a lot of things, doesn't have the price to beat. Okay. Actually, ID is this. So what is that? That's the event. Oh. Doesn't matter. Either way. प्राइस टू बीट कहाँ मिलेगा गाइस? प्राइस टू बीट कहाँ मिलेगा? ये चीज़ हमें सर्च करने पे तो यहाँ पे नहीं मिल रही. नोवेयर हियर. ओके. आ तो यहीं से कहीं से रही है. उड़ के तो आ नहीं रही हवा से. ट्राई इट वन मोर टाइम. स्लैश मार्केट्स. Interesting. Okay, maybe, just maybe. No, this isn't it. Okay, what we're going to do now is, अब हमें ये करना है कि यार एक मार्केट जब एंड होती है, we need that market's price to be dumped somewhere ताकि हम खुद ही ट्रैक कर पाए. It is not showing me that, which is something it should show me, but दिखा नहीं रहा है. The only thing this thing shows, yeah, it doesn't show the price to beat. That's not great, but it is fine. But I guess ये भी तो predictable है ना. I'm assuming this is predictable. This should be predictable. अगला वाला would be this plus 6,000. नहीं, 6 5 30, 3,000. So it will be 8,000 plus 3,000 कितना होता है भाई? 11,000 होता है ना. 8,300 will become 9,300 will become 69 60. अरे बाप रे, क्या होगा? 60 71,300. अगली मार्केट है ना ऐसी. 50 मिनट्स बाद है ये वाली. थोड़ी मैथ मैंने गलत कर दी. 68 के बाद क्या आएगा? अच्छा, ये सेकंड है ना, तो 300 सेकंड ही तो होते हैं. हाँ, तो इसमें 600 हो जाएगा ये. लो जी, बल्ले बल्ले, ठीक है. तो लेट्स जस्ट प्रिडिक्ट दैट प्राइस, दैट टाइम स्टैम्प. दिस इज गुड, दिस इज गुड, दिस इज गुड. मार्केट हम प्रिडिक्ट कर लेंगे. कॉन्स्ट करंट active market ID equal to this thing plus यहाँ पे कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग सा. मॉड्यूलो ही लगेगा भाई इसमें, बस वही मेरी मैथ थोड़ी बुरी है। टाइम लेफ्ट अगर x है तो इट विल बेसिकली बी डेट डॉट नाउ माइनस 300 माइनस टाइम लेफ्ट। ओके वेट, कॉन्स्ट टाइम पास्ट इक्वल टू दिस थिंग, इतना टाइम पास हो चुका है अब, it many seconds have passed in this market, const time left equal to 300 minus this, and then current market id would be this thing plus minus time passed, -5 कर देंगे, एक बारी को थोड़ा छोटा कर देंगे उसको। So it will be date dot now divided by 1000 का floor minus time pass -5 डेट डॉट नाउ ही तो होगा, सही तो है। कर रहा हूँ भाई, रुक जा। माइनस दिस थिंग का हाय हाय हाय, बीबी मॉड्यूल है बहुत गंदे गंदे इसमें। थिंकिंग गाइस, थिंकिंग, तंग मत करो, थिंकिंग। बेसिकली भी एक एक्टिव मार्केट उठाओ पहले, दिस वन राइट हियर। अबे मच्छर, हाँ समझ गया मैं, दिस थिंग प्लस, वेरी नाइस वेरी नाइस, हाँ हाँ समझ गया मैं, इट विल बी दिस थिंग जो भी था ये टाइम प्लस some multiple of 300, some multiple of 300, so it will be basically 300 into ये जो भी, इसको मैं स्टार्ट टाइम बना देता हूँ, const random start time equal to this thing, in seconds है तो underscore seconds, this thing plus 300 into जो करंट टाइम है माइनस जो रैंडम स्टार्ट टाइम था वो डिवाइडेड बाय 300 का फ्लोर इंटू 300। ये सही लग रहा है मुझे, प्लस देन कंसोल डॉट लॉग करंट एक्टिव मार्केट आईडी, ठीक है। तो व्हाट दिस विल डू इज दिस विल प्रिंट द करंट मार्केट आईडी एंड कितना टाइम बचा है इस करंट मार्केट आईडी में। देन ऑल दैट वी हैव टू डू इज इफ टाइम लेफ्ट इज लेस देन इक्वल टू 60 और 30 सेकंड से कम बचे हैं, एंड इफ लास्ट मार्केट एंड प्राइस इज लेस देन और माइनस जो भी करंट प्राइस है विच इज वैल्यू इज ग्रेटर देन इज लेस देन 100, अगर 100 से कम है तो मतलब भाई पक्का है कि मार्केट डाउन ही होने वाली है, अगर 100 से ज़्यादा है तो मार्केट अप ही होने वाली है। वेरिएबल को ऊपर डिफाइन कर देते हैं विद 0, एंड एक और चीज़ अपने को चेक करनी चाहिए, एंड दिस थिंग if not last current active market ID string, okay, last market active ID is less than this thing if current active market ID is not equal to लास्ट एक्टिव मार्केट आईडी, अगर दोनों इक्वल नहीं है तो कुछ करना था, भूल गया क्या करना था। लास्ट का प्राइस हमें जो भी पिछली बारी प्राइस मिला था वो होगा, विच वुड बी लेट ये रहा ना, इज इक्वल टू वैल्यू, देयर वी गो। मतलब अब जाके फ्लिप हो गया, वी हैव मूव्ड ऑन टू द न्यू मार्केट। तो जो भी हमारे वैल्यू बची थी, नॉट अभी है वैसे, पहले वाली होनी चाहिए हमारे पास, विच बेसिकली मीन्स एक और गंदा वेरिएबल आएगा। लेट मी नॉट कॉम्प्लिकेट, बट देयर इज स्कोप ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट हियर, and now we'll do this thing and console.log price to beat is ये, जबकि थोड़ा सा गलत है, this will be off by a bit. All right, let's see what happens. And also console.log place जो भी buy order, sell order, or the opposite, I don't know. We'll see which one of these it should place, but something like this. Every time a message comes from Polymarket telling us that the price has changed, what we're going to do is, ये बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं होना चाहिए also. Once it's done for one market, we shouldn't do it again and again. एक ही बार ये चेक करके हमें ऑर्डर्स प्लेस करने चाहिए। तो let order placed for market equal to this thing, and अगर इसके अंदर आ गया है of current active market ID equal to true, and then यहाँ पे एक और चेक होना चाहिए, and not already placed the order for a current market ID. बार बार एक ही मार्केट के लिए ऑर्डर्स नहीं प्लेस करेंगे वरना खाली हो जाएंगे. Only have to do it once. All right, let's run oneindex.ts and see what we see. Okay, the current live market is this one, which is 900. यहाँ पे है 300. Price to beat is, पहली बात तो ये 300 है, करंट एक्टिव मार्केट इज 900, तो कुछ तो कमी है, 600 का फ़र्क है, तो मैंने कुछ तो मैथ गलत लगाई है. मैथ फ्लोर नहीं होगा, मैथ सील होगा क्या? प्रॉबली, एक्चुअली दिस माइट बी राइट. राइट नाउ अभी भी 600 आई, जबकि करंट मार्केट इज 900. 600 क्यों आई? ओके, अब तो मैं कुछ गलती कर रहा हूँ. रैंडम स्टार्ट टाइम हमने एक लिया था. करंट मार्केट वुड बी इतना प्लस 300 इंटू मैथ डॉट फ्लोर ही होगा यार वैसे तो. मैथ डॉट फ्लोर ऑफ करंट टाइम माइनस रैंडम टाइम डिवाइड बाय 300, सही तो है. वन 300 सही तो है. क्या कमी है इसमें? इसमें क्या कमी है भाई? रैंडम स्टार्ट टाइम प्लस 300 सेकेंड ही होते हैं ना 5 मिनट में. 6 5 30. हाँ, इतनी तो मैथ आती है. मैथ डॉट फ्लोर ऑफ डेट डॉट नाउ डिवाइड बाय 1000 माइनस रैंडम स्टार्ट टाइम. ओके, तो अगर ये टाइम है वो स्टार्ट टाइम और उसके बाद एक्स नंबर ऑफ सेकेंड्स जा चुके हैं, तो उसमें से निकाला तो ये गैप आया. डिवाइड बाय 300 वुड बी लाइक 1 का फ्लोर वुड बी लाइक 1 इंटू 300 वुड बी प्लस 300. सही तो है. कमी क्या है इसमें? कुछ तो गाइस हमने गलती कर दी है. ये तो हम यूज़ नहीं कर रहे ना, यहाँ पे नहीं कर रहे, यही करने अलग से बनाया है. समथिंग इज अप. टाइम लेफ्ट भी नान आ रहा है. मुझे भूख भी लग रही है, बताओ क्रेजी हो गया ये तो. सेकेंड्स भी सही आ रहे हैं, बट मार्केट गलत है तो ऑफ कोर्स इट गोज क्रेजी. टाइम लेफ्ट इज NaN, so that again is pointing to something. How time passed is this thing. Oh, ये क्या किया मैंने? इनको हटाओ भाई. Time left console.log time passed. All right, let's try that one more time. अब तो अगली मार्केट आ गई होगी. सही लग रहा है तो. टाइम लेफ्ट, टाइम पास्ट इज ब्यूटिफुल. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम इन दिस? ये 600 क्यों आ रहा है जबकि इट शुड बी 600 आ रहा है? तो बहुत आगे चला गया भाई. 17725 17725 69 200 17725 686। एक तो बहुत आगे निकल गया, कुछ तो मैंने एक आधे एक्स्ट्रा या कम जीरो छोड़े हैं। नो दैट लुक्स फाइन टू मी। ओ नहीं, क्या हो सही तो है। डेढ़ बाय 1000 नहीं होगा, 10,000 हो गया। Okay, I know what to log. I will log -1 console.log random start time console.log. ये बड़ी सी चीज़। अरे 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 दोस्त, मिसिंग हो गई, थोड़ी सी कमी हो गई। मैथ डॉट फ्लोर ऑफ, नहीं सही तो है, सही किया है, कोई कमी नहीं है। ये नंबर कि कितनी मार्केट आगे निकल गए हो तुम वहाँ से, है ना, सही है। अब रैंडम स्टार्ट ने मैंने भी चेंज किया तो एक मार्केट ही आगे गया हूँ मैं वैसे, -1 के बाद। ठीक है, 2 मार्केट आगे गया हूँ, तो इट शुड बी 60600। यहाँ पे क्या है? अबे इट थिंक्स मैं 2 ही मार्केट आगे गया हूँ, जबकि तो बहुत पुराना टाइम है भाई, है ना। ओके, ऐसा करते हैं, इससे पिछली वाली मार्केट पे जाते हैं, 320 वाली पे। इट शुड थिंक आई हैव गॉन अहेड बाय 1। एक मिनट, 68900 568,900 5 से, हाँ सही तो है, 9220 सही तो है। Okay, let's try it again. It should think I've gone ahead by 1 market, and it thinks I have gone 1 market. Perfect. तो current live is 200। हमारे में क्या है? 17 7725 1725 69200। अच्छा 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 अच्छा, ये आप लोग तो समझ गए होगे, मैं ही थोड़ा गलत हो गया। ये जो है गाइस, थोड़ी गलती हो गई ऐसे, नंबर माय बैड, शुड बी फाइन नाउ। Yeah, there we go. 9200 string plus number addition, most common into JavaScript question I missed. All right, so that should do it. Price to beat is खाली होना चाहिए, लास्ट प्राइस मार्केट एंड प्राइस। हाँ, अब इसको चलने देते हैं थोड़ा। अभी तो प्राइस टू बीट 0 ही आएगा, क्योंकि इट्स द फर्स्ट टाइम वी रनिंग इट, सो आइडियली इट शुडंट प्लेस एनी ऑर्डर्स because we've just started it. But now the second time the next market starts इसके बाद, it will have the last price with it, and it should be able to figure out कि अगला प्राइस होना चाहिए कि नहीं। Beautiful, we'll wait for it to do it. Still doing its thing. We'll wait for this market to end. When this market ends, we'll ensure or hope it is able to track the right price to beat. And if it is able to track the right price to beat, we'll ensure it moves on to the next market, which basically means this ID moves after another 39 seconds. And then in the next market's last 30 seconds, we'll see if it actually figures out there's a big delta and actually places an order. I've not written the logic to place an order, but I have a log over here. I just need to replace this log with calling this create order for market function, and that should do it. All right, looking at the logs. 20 more seconds and we will know if we have missed a bug or not. Meanwhile, let me see if someone has something in chat. More seconds and we will know if we... All right. Looking at chat. Okay, how much time is left? I think ho gaya na? Beautiful. So it thinks that the price to beat is in the next market 302, but the actual price to beat is 333. So there is a delta over here. There's a small bug that we need to fix. That, एक मिनट, price to beat change क्यों हो रहा है भाई? If not, अबे ये प्राइस क्यों चेंज हो रहा है? That is a problem. A very big problem. We have another bug. Current market ID is something. If not last active market ID, that is not going to happen. If current market ID is not the last market ID, कुछ तो मैंने गलती कर दिया guys. Oh, ये तो थोड़ा गलत है. ये भी होगा ना गाइस यहाँ पे. हाँ, अब सही है. अब सही है. ये यहीं पे हो रहा है ना, सिर्फ लास्ट मार्केट आइडिया और कहीं तो नहीं हो रहा. Good. Sorry, my bad, guys. We'll have to do it one more time. It'll think like the price to beat is 0, but after 3 minutes, it should have the right price, and then hopefully, the right things from there. Until then, any questions? Speaker in Hackerbyte, I don't know what that is. Super chats missed. All right, time to look at super chats. Which fan funding. There we go. I'm joining an early age startup as a CV intern, computer vision intern, in a Bangalore with a stipend. Yeah, is it good for BCA freshers? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea around computer vision. I generally feel 20K is, I mean, if you're in college, it's probably fine. Your second or third year, it's probably fine. I cannot come to Hackerbyte, whatever that is. No other questions. Alrighty, cool. Another 2 minutes, and then hopefully, this time I'm very hopeful it works. Actually, I'm not very hopeful. Still might have some bugs in there, but abhi tak seems good to me. While this is happening, let me also create a repo for it, where I'm going to post the code for it. New, this is going to be called Polymarket, a live market bot, something like that. And still 95 seconds left, so we have a lot of time. While it's doing its thing, let me quickly push the code here. Init, git add dot, git commit fm, poly, init, git. There we go. That should be the code in case anyone is curious about the code. It's right here. How do I move this back? Live chat. There we go. End poll. That's the code if you're curious. Let's see if it still is doing its thing or not. Let's go to this one right here. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds is what I see over here. Price to beat is 0 right now because it's buggy. Or the first market, it always misses after starting the code, but after the first market goes away, from the second market, it'll start to do its thing. Let's see if it does it or not. This market very obviously tipped to one side, which is why, there's no real liquidity left on this market now to buy, yes or no. It's only until a certain point that you'll find liquidity to buy. Oh boy, but it is moving. Oh boy. I guess the target is really far, so wouldn't change much. All right. Done. Now let's go to the live market and hopefully, yeah, there you go. The price to beat is 406 over here, 404 over here. Slight problem over here that we should try to fix. Because we skip one heartbeat. So in that one heartbeat, the price might change, but it's still pretty close. We feel like that the price to beat is this. We feel like the current price is this. So, there is a delta between both of them. Eventually, hopefully, after a while, this if condition should hit. If time left is less than 30, then a certain condition is met, we place a buy order or a sell order. So this market is divergent enough, which it seems like it's really far from the target. 100 is fairly aggressive, though. I think it'll never reach a delta of 100. 360 and 404, the delta isn't 100, so the if condition shouldn't meet. But we'll see if that happens or not. yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Delta needs to be lesser, like, I don't know, 30 or 40, something like that. But either way, seems to do its thing, seems to work. It'll work perpetually for every 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute candle. It only works for one market right now. And I have not put my private key, so I haven't actually tested it here. I don't want to put my private key actually. I probably could. But if I share it by mistake, it'll be a problem, which is why I'm not going to. But all you have to do is export your private key from here and paste it here. This is like a dummy private key. Replace it. You don't need any of these. Just put your Polymarket private key here and you should be good to go. Also, I've just logged. You actually have to place an order. That means you actually have to call create order for market with the right inputs if you actually want this to run. I probably wouldn't do that today though. What is the price now? It's again, the delta is less than 100. So wouldn't matter. The delta is like 50, 60, 80 now. So hopefully it does exceed from 100. And then we have like, oh, there we go. It's slowly approaching above 100. There we go. That's good. That's good. If it goes above 504 is when we'll see, our logic kick in. Doesn't seem like it'll happen though. I don't know. We'll try for this one market and then we'll call it. I have pushed the code. If there are bugs, do let me know. बहुत मच्छर है भाई इस घर में तो crazy. I can see 20 right here. All right. It fell. Oh, it fell below. All right. Yeah, we're probably not going to hit the condition. The condition would get hit if the price reaches either 504 or 304. I don't think either would happen, but I could be wrong. We're going to have some silence for the next few minutes before we know if we hit an order or not. Yeah, I should have kept like a smaller threshold. We were anyways testing it, so I should have kept a threshold of like 10 or something to see if it works or not. But anyways, what is done is done. The good thing is I don't know if these are like real time prices or not. If it's 410 here, it's sort of stuck here. That's just a UI problem. This is the real price. 420, 424, 24, 23. Yeah, the delta is like really small now, 20. So anyways, I wouldn't place an order at less than 30 seconds because it can tip to the other side very quickly. But the problem is if you keep the delta very big, then you'll get really bad prices here, or you might not even get any orders to pick up because the market might not be liquid enough at that point. The results are almost decided if in the last 30 seconds the delta is of 100. So you need to tweak these parameters, specifically, the time at which you're going to start placing the orders and the delta that you're trying to find between the price to beat and the current price. Either way, I just want to make sure. In this case, it shouldn't place any orders because the delta is really small. The delta between the price to beat and the current price is not this. This price is incorrect, but this price is correct. This is like a delta of less than 4 after 300 seconds. At which point, it's very hard to tell if it will be on this side or that side. So ideally, it should stay away from placing any orders. Let's see what happens when the 30-second mark hits. Let's see if it actually places an order or not. Hopefully, it doesn't. And it shouldn't because it's really close to the target price right now. And that's a very risky bet. Hey, it placed a buy order. Probably not cool. Placed buy order. There's another bug here. It placed a buy order when the price to beat was this thing 68,406 and the current price was 68,409. The delta was 3. Why would it do that? Price to beat. And where am I logging the current price? Price to beat is this thing. And the current price is logged here. If it placed a buy order, that means it felt that the last market price minus value. Oh, yeah. Can you see these conditions? Do you think anything is bad here? It'll either be less than 100 or greater than 100, right? It'll not be equal to 100 anyways. So what I really was supposed to do was this. If math.apps of this thing is less than 100, if or if last market end price is greater than value and this thing, and then if it's less than value and value minus this thing is greater than 100. That's my bad. I placed a wrong order, or the logic was incorrect. My bad. ID hoga mani, price hoga. This thing, and this thing. All right. If last market end price is greater than value, the value छोटी हो गई है, मतलब it's below. I probably want to buy the up token. अब वो भी कहीं ना कहीं मतलब we need to figure out what the inputs are. Side and then size. Yeah, it's probably a buy order. So side needs to be basically, so if I had to call this function, I would want to buy. So it will be buy upright. No, this will be a sell order here. So market ID would be current market ID. I think this is incorrect. You need to find the right market ID. This is the slug. So to do replace this with the slug, and then side is going to be side dot sell here, and price is going to be, honestly it doesn't matter, but anywhere above 0.9 I should be able to buy. Well, that's closer to where the price would be, and size would be whatever 100. So I'm placing like whatever at max $9 worth of order, and here I would buy. So I think this might be right. I can do some backtesting, checking. I'm sure that I missed something obvious again. But one thing that I know for sure is a to do is this thing over here. Let me push that as well. Fixed bug, and we call it here. It's 2 p.m. I have a video to record now. So I will call it. Hope you guys have a happy Diwali tomorrow. The code is pushed. You will find it on GitHub. I'm sure there's like a bug or two in there. Try it with your Polymarket private key if you want. I wouldn't do it though. I don't consider myself to be the best trader, so I don't know. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next video. If there's anything, any other project ideas that you guys have. I don't have. I think, as I said, you can build anything on the internet now, thanks to Claude Code, other things. So happy to code anything specific that you might like. Super chats missed. Let me see if I've missed something, and then I'll call it. React Native projects to get hired. So Sagar got hired based on XNES. Prasad got hired based on a contest application. And so the project matters. Most projects are again easy to build in React Native now thanks to AI. The harder part is, how does React Native work under the hood? Answering these interview questions. Have you published an app in the past? How many installs does the app have? How do you monitor the app crashes? Things like these, like more deeper questions on, when you productionize the application. So like, think of yourself as a front-end DevOps engineer more, and less of a, application engineer if you're applying to these companies. That's the only advice I can give. With that, we ended. Thank you.